A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Five bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells moving immediately.
That's it. Let's roll.
Let's go. Firefighters. Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll hurry over to Northside School to sit in the auditorium with Chief Cody as the curtain goes up on the third act of the fire prevention play the Firefighters Brigade is presenting with the help of Tim Collins. But before curtain time, we have a moment for this message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to the auditorium of Northside School, where the curtain has just come down on the second act of the fire prevention play written by Trudy Collins and Miss Greville. Here in the audience, Chief Cody has been saving the seat beside him for Miss Greville.
Excuse me, Chief Cody.
Oh, I'm sorry. The seat is taken. Oh, it's you, Miss Greville. Well, sit down. Where have you been?
Backstage. I didn't dare leave any sooner, but I do want to see the third act from out front.
The big fire scene? Well, I don't blame you.
How does the audience like it so far?
You heard the applause, didn't you? I saw the guests from the Commerce Club clapping as if the...
Hey, Chief Cody!
Who's that?
Oh, look, over there. It's the mayor himself. He's trying to get your attention.
Well, how do you like it, Mr. Mayor?
He's waving his clasped hands like a prize fighter.
Yeah. Thanks, Your Honor. But wait until you see the last act.
It's a success. Even the mayor thinks so.
Well, this won't do my fire prevention campaign any harm, Miss Greville. Thanks to you and the Firefighters Brigade.
Well, then, won't you please change your mind?
About what?
You know, Tim Collins and I want you to make a speech at the end of the program, just to drive home the important points.
No, not me, Miss Greville. No speeches, never. Only an emergency, and not even then if I can dodge it.
Oh, dear. Well, then I guess Tim will have to do it himself.
Isn't he busy enough backstage working the curtain, isn't he?
Oh, not now. His brother Jimmy was running the curtain. But Jimmy's going to be a fireman in the big fire scene, and Tim is in charge of the lights and sound effects.
Somebody had better run that curtain up soon, too. Audience is getting restless.
Mr. Jensen, the janitor, will take care of that. He's never seen the play, but Tim can signal to him when to run the curtain up and down.
Let's hope he doesn't get mixed up.
Oh, he'll hear Jimmy's cue anyway. You see, Jimmy drags the fire hose on stage.
The real hose, the one that's hooked up in case of fire?
Oh, yes, but nothing can go wrong unless somebody turns the water on.
Well, let's hope not.
And when Mr. Jensen hears Jimmy's last line, when he says, "Turn on the water," then the curtain comes down.
Oh, we're off. There goes the curtain. Here comes the big fire scene.
As the curtain rises, the audience watches a pitch-black stage on which a sudden glow of red light depicts a smoldering blaze. The light grows and spreads, flickering wildly. And backstage, Tim Collins gives the signal for the sound effects of the fire siren.
Hey, that's a 3-bagger, all right. One of the wildest fires I ever saw, a man or a boy.
Where did he hear it?
I hope this doesn't upset Jensen. If he didn't see the rehearsal, he'll think this is the real thing.
Oh, dear, I hope he understands it's only a play. If he thinks it's a real fire, he'll...
Oh, here comes the fire department. Which is Jimmy Collins?
The one holding the nozzle.
Pipe man, eh? Oh, the young rascal. Look at him crouching down. You'd think that room was full of smoke.
He ought to start saying his lines now. He ought to...
Hard, Bill. This is a tough one.
Well, it's all of that, Jimmy.
Keep down below the smoke. We gotta find the seat of the blaze.
That's right, son.
Now comes his last line, the speech that brings down the curtain.
Water! Charge that line! Send that water along!
Now, down comes the curtain.
What's keeping?
Oh.
Your Mr. Jensen must be asleep.
I said water! Golly, Mr. Jensen, that means bring down the curtain. Send that water along!
Oh, good boy. Jimmy told him what to do.
Hey, no, don't turn that water on.
Blazing blisters. Jensen did send the water along.
No, he thought it was a real fire. He turned it on.
Jensen, turn it off. Pull down the curtain.
No, it couldn't happen. It couldn't. Not with the mayor and the Commerce Club here to see.
Miss Grable, the audience is all up in the air. They think maybe you meant the play to end that way.
Oh, they'll know in a minute. They'll laugh me out of town. And the firefighters and your campaign. Oh, Chief Cody, what can I do?
You sit tight. I'll take care of this.
What? What can you do?
This is an emergency, and it's one I can't dodge. Now sit tight and don't say anything.
Through the confused and uproarious audience, Chief Cody makes his way to the steps that lead from the auditorium to the stage. He hurries up the steps and stands before the...
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of Northside School, distinguished guests, your attention, please. I have been asked to come before you today to point out the moral of our little play, which has just come to an end before your eyes in a climax of thrilling action.
Oh, boy, Chief Cody's going to save our necks.
Jimmy, where are you?
Here, behind the curtain, soaking wet.
Ladies and gentlemen, come out here, Jimmy. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear that story direct from one of our actors, Mr. James Collins. If you don't come out, I'll go in there after you.
Oh, gosh, here I come.
Mr. James Collins. Now, Jimmy, will you tell the audience what this play was supposed to prove?
Well, the Firefighters Brigade wanted to show how most people forget to take care of their homes. You know, leave stuff around in the cellar that ought to be thrown out, and maybe cleaning rags and stuff that can catch fire by spontaneous combustion.
Mm-hmm. That's right, son. And ladies and gentlemen, in the third act, you saw the result of this carelessness. Fire. Calling for the intervention of the fire department.
But golly, we didn't mean to drown anybody. Mr. Jensen...
No, ladies and gentlemen, the fire department never means to cause damage. But we must fight fire with desperate measures. And as Mr. Collins and his fellow actors have just demonstrated, even the cure for fire, the powerful jet of water from a fire hose, can cause damage to destruction. So I beg you...
But, Chief Cody, it was all an accident.
Pipe down, Jimmy. Let him talk.
So I beg you, do your share to help us protect life and property. Stop fires before they start. Clean house. And back up our fire prevention campaign. I thank you.
Backstage, a moment later, as Chief Cody wipes his forehead with his handkerchief, Miss Grable clutches at his arm.
Oh, Chief Cody, you were wonderful. The audience thinks we did it on purpose. That was a wonderful speech.
Yeah, me making speeches.
Oh, Chief, you brought down the house.
Collins, you're sure you didn't do that on purpose?
I? Do what, sir?
You angle me into a position where I had to get up before that crowd to drum up this emergency just to make the old man talk?
Oh, golly, no, Chief. It was Mr. Jensen's own idea. He thought it was a real fire, and when I yelled, send that water along...
Not so loud, not so loud. He might do it again.
Chief, the mayor wants to see you. He wants to congratulate you and the Firefighters Brigade. But we were hoping that you...
Chief Cody, as president of the Firefighters Brigade, and the play was such a success, even if we all did get drowned, Well, couldn't you...
Chief, Jimmy's going to buy drinks for Sonia... Miss Grable and me.
And won't you come, too?
Chief, you just got it. It was you made the big speech.
Well, young man, I think you do owe me a drink. I'll tell you, I'll meet you all at the soda shop just as soon as I can escape from the mayor.
And so, after weeks of preparation and turmoil, the fire prevention play at Northside School turns out to be a triumphant success. But next day, when Tim Collins reports to Chief Cody at headquarters, the chief tells him...
Well, Collins, it's time to take up this matter of your transfer.
Yes, sir. I'm ready, sir.
You're sure you wouldn't rather stay in the Bureau of Fire Prevention? Your assignment is temporary, but I could make it permanent, you know.
Well, not at present, sir. Well, you know what I want to do.
I know. Transfer to the rescue company.
Yes, sir, with your approval, but... Well... Chief Cody, ever since I first requested a transfer to the rescue company, you said you'd approve, but I've got a feeling you don't like the idea.
Collins, I'll be honest with you. As to liking the idea, I do and I don't.
I see, sir. You think I'm not ready for such a tough assignment?
No, Collins, you don't see. Confound it, you're ready, but you don't realize what you're asking for. Why, you'll be in hot water from the moment your transfer is made known.
Now, what do you suppose Chief Cody means by that? Tim Collins has been in hot water before, but for the first time, the chief seems to think here's a situation too tough for Tim to handle. For the trouble that threatens when Tim joins the rescue company, don't miss our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is Chief Cody telling you this time about the work of the salvage company. At any fire that threatens property damage, these firemen turn up with special equipment. Heavy covers to protect furnishings and goods from water damage, for instance. And they carry out of the burning building anything that can be saved, or use special methods to drain off water so merchandise will not be flooded. Members of the salvage company use every possible means to prevent property damage, and they pay their way time and time again just by doing their job. So long for now. You'll be hearing from me.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll! Let's go! Firefighters!
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is table. T-A-B-L-E.
Oh, I thought it was pronounced table. Really?
You bet your life.
Oh, that's all.
The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Land sakes, that's me, Groucho Marx. Well, here I am again with $2,500 for one of our couples.
Groucho, just before we went on the air, we asked for married couples to volunteer, and here come the two that were chosen, Dr. and Mrs. Lloyd Ely. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome to the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Like to find that around the house, eh? Dr. and Mrs. Lloyd Ely, eh? Well, the baseball season hasn't started yet, but I see the Giants are with us. Lloyd, which one is Lloyd? This is Lloyd.
I'm Lloyd.
How tall are you?
About 6 feet 3 inches in my socks, my stockings.
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Eli, is that the way you pronounce it? Ely, eh? You look even taller. How tall are you?
I'm about 6'5" with shoes.
Oh, well, that's marriage for you. She wears shoes and he goes around in stocking feet. How much you weigh, Doc?
About 240.
Is that with or without shoes?
It doesn't much matter.
Well, Mrs. Ely, what's your first name? I can't keep calling you Mrs. Ely.
Ann. Ann's fine.
Ann? Mm-hmm. So you're not Ann Sheridan, huh?
Oh, no. Ann
Sheridan. You look like her. You sure you're not Ann Sheridan?
Ann Sheridan's a redhead, and I don't believe she's 6'5" with shoes on, and I think you're flattering me.
I don't think so. Have you ever been a redhead?
No, I've been a blonde for about 16 years.
How old are you?
26.
Doc, are you a dog doctor or a horse doctor? And if you're a horse doctor, what do you hear from Mare Island?
Well, I'm not a horse doctor. I'm a resident physician in internal medicine at Wadsworth.
You just take care of residences?
No, not exactly. Veterans. It's a veterans hospital.
Oh. You're pretty young to be in a veterans hospital, aren't you?
Well, you have a point.
Yes, I have. It's right on top of my head. How do you like keeping house for a doctor, Ann? Do you find it exciting?
I don't keep house. I, too, am a resident physician at Wadsworth Veterans Hospital.
You're both doctors? Say, this is an amazing medical discovery.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 500 pounds of doctor staring down my throat. You work in a hospital, too, huh?
Yes, I do.
Well, one good intern deserves another. How long have you two been married? I presume you are married.
4 years and 8 months.
Mm-hmm. When did you meet old Sawbones here, Ann?
Met him in the first year of medical, when I was a medic.
Did you shake him well before taking him? Tell us about it. Was it love at first sight?
I didn't think too much of him when I first met him.
Thought he was just another pill, eh? Not even sugar-coated. What was the matter with him when you first met him that you changed your opinion of him?
Well, we were working over adjacent cadavers, and he asked me for a date.
You were working over what?
Adjacent cadavers.
What a lovely name for a summer resort. Spending a weekend at adjacent cadavers. Wish you were here. Well, was it easy to distinguish him from the cadavers? Not at first, huh? He was fairly quiet, huh? And what happened?
We were working...
How did you know whose hand you were holding?
At any rate, he asked me for a date at one of the fraternity balls, and I thought it was a bit late, and I didn't like the way he asked me.
How did he ask
thought
you?
It was a last resort.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the summer resort, I guess. Doc, that's you, Lloyd. How is your bedside manner? For example, how do you cheer up a patient?
Well, try to reassure them, explain the disease that they have, what they can look forward to in the future, and try to make them as happy as possible.
Do you ever tell them jokes?
Well, rarely. Rarely. My stock isn't too good.
Well, do you have any rib ticklers at all? I'm always in the market for a real corker, you know.
Well, I have a few.
Could you knock one off here?
Well, I occasionally tell the one about seeing a man in the hospital hall who was hopping up and down on one foot. And I asked him what was the trouble. And he told me, well, I saw my doctor the other day. He told me to take pills for 2 days and then skip a day.
And do any of the patients recover from that joke?
Only a few.
Seems to me that's worse than giving him an appendectomy. But what are your plans for the future, Lloyd? Will Ann retire and take up housekeeping as a career?
No.
Or housewifing?
We plan to set up an office together.
Oh, that's nice. Well, how are you going to decide who gets the patients?
Well, we'll probably divide them.
I had no idea you were both taking surgery. They don't bother splitting fees. They just split the patient. Well, you're a charming and interesting couple. And, Doc, if she ever gets mad and sticks her tongue out at you, be sure to send her a bill.
I'll do that.
Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play Bet Your Life for a chance at the $2,500 question. Now, right now, I want you to listen to these words of importance.
It's the talk of the nation. It's now at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. America's most spectacular new car. The new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. With a revolutionary new Fire Dome V8 engine. 160 horsepower. Thanks to its dome-shaped combustion chambers, you get more power from every drop of gas. More power using less gasoline. and regular gasoline at that. That DeSoto Fire Dome V8 engine gives you surging power and acceleration in all speed ranges. Power with smoothness never before achieved. The new DeSoto also brings you sensational power steering that lets you turn the wheels with one finger, even when the car is at a standstill. Add in the sleek lines of DeSoto's new air vent hood, new, safer power brakes, and a host of other great features, and you have America's most talked-about new car, the new 160-horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8. Go to your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow. See and drive this great new car, the 160-horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8.
All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. George, explain the rules, eh?
You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $2,500 DeSoto Plymouth question later in the show.
Here we go. Let's see how I can build you $20. You selected sciences ending in ology as your category. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you bet?
1950.
What is the science called that deals with the structure of the Earth?
Geology.
Geology is right.
Well, you're on your way. You have $39.50.
Remember, you're going for $2,500 tonight. How much of the $39.50 will you risk now?
$39.
What is the science called that deals with the skin?
Dermatology.
That's true.
You've now climbed to $78.50.
And here's your third question. How much of this vast loot will you bet this time?
78.
Oh, all right. 78.
What is the science called that deals with human behavior?
Psychology.
Psychology is right. How you spell it, Doc?
P-S-Y-C-H-O-L-O-G-Y.
Say, that's right good, huh?
You now have $156.50.
I thought that was Physio Wally School. You have $156.50, and how much of this are you going to try this time?
All of them.
All right. All of it.
All right, what is the science called that deals with ancient things and relics of early races of mankind?
Archaeology. Paleontology.
One answer now.
Do you think it's paleontology?
Come on, kids. Time's a wasting.
Archaeology.
Archaeology is right. You're pretty illogical. And she talked him out of it, too.
You wind up with $313.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Lovely.
We have a couple of young people for you now, Groucho. They were chosen from our studio audience just before we went on the air. I'd like you to meet Mrs. Perry Ann Webb and Mr. Herman G. Smith. Folks, would you come in here, please, and meet Groucho Marx?
Well, welcome, kids. See you bet your life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Let's see. Herman G. Smith and Mrs. Perry Webb. Is that right? Perry Webb, eh? How old are you, Herm?
35.
35, huh? And where are you from?
Born above an undertaker's parlor in Dillon, Montana.
You didn't happen to meet two Gaddafirs there, did you?
That's my mother.
Where were you born? In Montana?
Dillon, Montana.
Uh-huh. Is that a cowboy town? A mining town?
I believe it's a mining town.
Oh, it's been quite some time since you were there.
Yes.
How long?
35 years.
You left the day you were born?
4 days later.
You learned to walk quickly, didn't you? What sort of work do you do?
Well, it's a little bit difficult to tell you. I'm in between jobs. I worked for the Red Cross for 16 years, and now I'm making a change.
You going with the Blue Cross now?
No. I'm going to private enterprise, Long Beach Amusement Company.
That's what we need, more private enterprise. This is a Hoover man, I can tell that. This is Perry Webb. Huh?
Webb.
You're the housewife?
Yes, I am.
A very attractive one, too.
Thank you very much.
Have you always been this pretty?
Well, I don't remember.
What's your hometown, Perry?
Istanbul.
Istanbul?
Mm-hmm.
Well, where is that?
In Turkey.
Oh, really? I thought the only thing in Turkey was stuffing. That's not a very good joke, is it?
No.
You don't have to agree quite so quickly, you know. You can kind of played around with it for a while. You're married, huh?
Yes, I am.
Unfortunate. Huh? Where did you meet your husband, in Turkey or in America?
In Paris.
Was he a parasite?
No.
Did you like that joke better than the one about the stuffing?
No.
This girl is 100% right. She doesn't like any joke I've said. Well, did you get married in Paris or in Turkey?
In Greece.
Got married in Greece, eh? Out of the frying pan into the fire.
No.
What does your husband do?
He's in the army.
In the Greek army?
No, in American army.
Oh. I see. How did you meet your husband, Farahand?
Well, I was in Paris, and we were crossing the street with my friend, and somebody was coming so
He was crossing
fast.
the street with your friend?
I was crossing the street with
his
my
friend?
No, with my own friend.
Oh, and he was in Greece?
No, in Paris.
Oh.
I was in Paris, and he was in Paris too that time.
Oh, he was in Paris?
Yes.
Huh? Oh, I see.
And then after, I was crossing the street, and somebody was coming so fast, and he put the brake, and he went...
He was in the car?
Yes, he was driving the car.
Oh.
And
This is
then
an
after-
army car?
No, he was his own car.
Oh.
Yes.
So he put the brakes on real fast?
Uh-huh.
And?
And then after, I scared, of course, and my friend also
You what?
was scared. I scared very much.
You were scared?
Yes,
Why?
I was
Did he
scared.
look so horrible? Or?
Well, we almost got killed.
Oh.
And then after he got out from the car, he said, "I'm sure I didn't mean to kill you, but I can take you where you go."
I didn't mean to kill you, but I'd like to have another go at it.
And then after, I said, "Okay, take us home." And we ride the car.
And you make
and he
a
took
practice
us
of
home.
getting in cars with strange men and driving around Paris?
Well, it's not so bad.
I hope you've broken that habit, have you?
No, I didn't.
You mean every time you cross the street and somebody stops their car, you hop in and go away?
Oh, no. Well,
Just
no.
occasionally, yeah?
Sometimes.
When do you plan on crossing the street again? Let's talk about your romance a little more. Now, you say you met your husband in Paris.
Yes.
How could you marry him in Greece? Didn't you catch him until then?
Well, I went to Greece. I used to go very often to Greece.
You used to go where?
With my friend. To Greece.
You used to go to Greece?
Yes, very
Salonika?
often. No, Athens.
What did your husband say when he asked you to marry him? Do you remember?
Yes, he come and he said, "Who is those guys?" Well, I said, "They are my friend." And then after, he said, "Please don't go with them out." I said, "Why? I like to have a couple of friends. I go out, I have fun. I don't have anything serious with any of you," I said. Oh, he said, "Please don't talk like this. You know how much you mean to me, and I want to marry you." And then after, I said, I can't say yes unless if you go and ask my mother first.
You mean you gave your mother first crack at this guy? They do things different in Athens. Now, where were the Romans while this was going on? Were they at the gates? And what happened then?
And then after I wrote, "Dear mother," I said, "This guy is a nice guy and he wants to marry me. What do you think about it?"
What'd your mother say? Did she say yes?
No.
She said no?
Yes.
She certainly changed her mind in a hurry. Well, I've enjoyed talking to you two. And if you want to enjoy something, you take a ride in the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. You'll be crazy about it.
Okay.
Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $2,500 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
Our two doctors won $313, and the secret word is table.
Let's see how high I can build you $20. You get 4 questions. All of these questions can be answered by pronouncing a single letter of the alphabet. Now, here's your first question. How much will you bet? And talk real loud. And talk it over between.
1950? Yes. Okay, 1950.
1950, yeah? All right, give me the name of an insect that can be answered with one letter.
Flea? That's more than one.
Bee.
Bee.
All right, well, that's too bad. All right, the big money anyhow is the $2,500. You have 50 cents left. How much of this will you bet on your second question? How much are you going to bet?
All of it.
All of it? All right. What do you call the rod or stick used in billiards?
Cue.
Cue is right. All right, now you've got $1. How much of this are you going to bet this time?
All of it.
All of it. What is the letter that is an abbreviation for a national club for young men and women?
Why?
Y is right. How could you miss the first one?
You got me.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the $2 are you going to bet now?
All of it.
All of it. Give me the name of a bird that can be answered with one letter of the alphabet. Take a stab if you don't know.
What?
Nothing?
Nothing.
Jay.
Jaybird.
Blue jay.
They went broke, Groucho.
It's a corn plaster. All right, well, we can't let you leave here with... How much have they got, $2?
Nothing.
Nothing. Well, I'm going to give you one question. You get it right, and you win $25. You ready?
Ready.
What color is the White House?
Happens to be white.
White is absolutely right. Hey there, kid.
Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a couple of young people. They're single. Groucho, I want you to meet them. They're Miss Mary Lou Schwartz, Mr. Michael Mekjian. Come on in here and meet Groucho Marx. Right there.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Miss Marilyn Schwartz. Huh?
Mary Lou.
Mary Lou Schwartz. Huh? And Mr. Michael Mekjian?
That's very good.
It is, huh? How old are you, Mary Lou? That's a blunt question. I expect a blunt answer.
24.
24, huh? Well, you were a very young-looking 24. I thought you were about 23. I understand you're not married. Am I right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Are you engaged?
No.
How old are you, Mike?
I'm 30.
30? Well, that's the... And you're not married?
No.
Well, don't get any wrong ideas about Mary Lou here.
I'm not.
I'll thank you to go out and find your own girls. Are you interested in matrimony, Mary?
Yes, I could be.
Mm-hmm. This is leap year, you know. Have you made any plans to do any leaping?
No.
Then why are you wearing your third finger on your left hand? No answer. Well, let's find out something about you two. You two may be more compatible than you realize. And Lloyd's will give you 8 to 5. This boy doesn't leave this program single here tonight. What sort of work do you do, Mike?
I'm a landscape architect.
Just what is a landscape architect?
Well, a landscape architect is probably a man who designs, develops, and supervises outdoor space for human use and enjoyment. To the average homeowner, it means maybe...
It means about $3,000.
Well, that's a good price. Yeah. It really means designing... to a homeowner, it means designing a garden.
Mm-hmm. In other words, you're a gardener. Well, why didn't you say that?
Well, I beg your pardon. I'm not a gardener. A gardener couldn't perform my job any better than an usher could perform your job.
Not so loud. There are 6 ushers out there, and 4 of them have their own program. And the other 2 have their eye on this job. Well, I originally started out thinking I could get you two together, but it seems like I'll have to resort to trickery. I'll bet you a dozen roses, Mary Lou, against your phone number that I can get you to propose to Mike here. You want to bet? Huh?
I'll bet you can't.
We'll see. I'll give you a little practice quiz. Huh? Now, wait a minute now. Let me think. What do you call the document disposing of a person's property at death?
Will.
Okay. Now, what do you call a female sheep?
You.
Oh, am I sucking her in here? Now think hard, Mary Lou. Who was the little girl who had a little lamb?
Mary.
Now, what have you got so far?
Will you marry?
This is a cinch. One more question now. Think now, Mary. What is the third note in the scale?
Fa.
Why, you scoundrel, you, Why, Mary, it's supposed to be me. Your scale is even crookeder than the one in the butcher uses. Well, you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you get a chance at the $2,500 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The two doctors still lead with $313.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected names of states. Here's your first question. How much will you bet? Nicknames of states. Oh, I beg your pardon.
19.
Nicknames of states.
19.
All right. What state is nicknamed the Sunflower State?
Kansas.
Kansas is right.
You're on your way. You have $39.
Remember, you're going for $2,500 tonight. Now, how much of the $39 will you bet on your second question?
39, you say?
You don't have to kiss her. Just tell her what it is.
$38.
$38, huh? All right, what state is named the Show Me State?
Missouri.
Missouri is right.
You now have $77.
Here's the third question. How much will you bet?
What'd you say?
Talk over. Talk it up.
75.
75,
She
all right.
chooses.
What state is nicknamed the Hoosier State?
Indiana.
Indiana.
Climb to $152.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the $152 are you going to try?
150.
150. What state is nicknamed the Buckeye State?
Ohio.
Ohio is right. Give him a big kiss.
And you wind up with $302.
This is killing me for the roses tomorrow.
And that means that our two doctors with $313. In just 1 minute, get a chance at the $2,500 DeSoto Plymouth question. Don't let another day go by. Now is the time to get your car ready for spring. But remember, don't take it just anywhere. Take it tomorrow to your DeSoto Plymouth dealers and ask for a springtime live action tune-up. Here, expert mechanics will go over the engine of your car, adjusting carburetor, distributor, and timing, checking your car's electrical system after the heavy load of winter. They'll check the cooling system and put it in shape for the extra miles of warmer weather driving. And they'll see to it that your car is properly lubricated to factory specifications. You'll drive out in a far peppier car, ready for thousands and thousands of miles of trouble-free economical operation. And remember, too, the service at a DeSoto Plymouth dealers is prompt. The price is fair. So drive in for that springtime live action tune-up tomorrow. You owe it to your car. You owe it to yourself, for this can mean a summer of happy driving and trouble-free operation for your car. Just look for the famous sign of better service, the friendly sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And here comes the two doctors.
He's real joy.
The winning couple, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $2,500 question.
All right, here we go for $2,500. And if you lose this money, you can go home tonight and at least you'll know what to take in the way of medicine. However, I'm not rooting for you to lose. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. Here it is. One of the sights of London is a famous waxworks, where celebrities of all kinds are displayed as wax figures. For $2,500, what is the name of this world-famous oddity? Talk it over. What is the answer you two have decided upon?
Chase's waxwork.
No, I'm sorry. It's Madame Tussauds waxwork. It's a very famous museum. That's the correct answer, so that means the big question next week will be worth $3,000. Well, you lost the big money, but how much did they win in the quiz, George?
$313 in the quiz.
Well, congratulations and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $3,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. 2 great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks. Remember, see the DeSoto 508 tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Good drivers drive safe cars. So wise up, check up, fix up. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
This is Bill Goodwin, speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap that's pure as fine Castiles. Well, it's Tuesday night again, time for another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen, our guest, lovely Loretta Young, with Jimmy Cash, the Swantet, Felix Mills, and his orchestra. And now meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. But before we visit the Burnses, let's look in for a moment on a dramatic scene taking place in the office of a Hollywood attorney. Consulting the attorney is a very excited and beautiful client, Miss Loretta Young.
This is preposterous. It's ridiculous. There isn't one word of truth in this entire magazine article.
Why, of course there isn't. Now, calm yourself, Miss Young.
Calm myself. Just listen to this drivel. Sensational, daring expose. The Secret Love of Loretta Young by Gracie Allen.
Why, that's fantastic.
Fantastic is hardly the word for it. Listen to this. Who is the mysterious Mr. X who holds the key to Loretta Young's heart? Does her son, Robert Young, know about this?
Why, that's positively weird. Tell me, does Miss Allen say where she got her information?
No. Undoubtedly, she got it straight from her head.
She couldn't have picked a more unreliable source. Now, does she name the man who's supposed to be your secret love?
No, but she describes him. He appears to be a combination of Gary Cooper, Noel Coward, J.P. Morgan, and the Green Hornet.
Have you ever met such a man?
No. You don't happen to know where I could, do you?
Fortunately, I'm afraid not. Now, don't worry, Miss Young. We'll take legal action immediately.
Well, I'll leave that to you. And meanwhile, I'm going over and demand an explanation from Gracie. Good day, gentlemen.
Good day. Oh, Northrop.
Yes, Miss Reagan?
Gracie Allen's married to a character named George Burns, isn't she?
Oh, yes, sir.
They probably cooked this up together. File suit immediately against Mr. and Mrs. George Burns for $50,000.
Oh, George, I have a wonderful surprise for you.
Really?
Yes, no more worries about money.
What do you mean?
Well, little Gracie has written a magazine article that's going to fix our finances permanently.
Sounds wonderful.
Oh, it's the least I can do, sweetheart. The way you work and slave at that old office is just making you a wreck, and I want to help.
Well,
thanks, dear. How long have you been writing magazine articles?
Oh, quite a while, but I didn't want to say anything until I had one published.
Oh, the others were rejected, huh?
Yes, and I can't understand it. Well, they were wonderful articles about movie stars. My first one was called Charles Boyer's Eyes. Are they his own?
Can't see why they rejected that.
And then I wrote a perfectly marvelous piece called Is There As Much Inside of Charles Lawton As There Is Outside?
Fascinating stuff.
Oh, yes. And then I wrote one that'll just set everybody's tongue wagging. It's called Theda Barra Says She's Through with Pictures.
Theda is going to quit, huh? Imagine.
Oh, I do a lot of research on these stories. Now, take this one. It's called Gary Cooper. Is he?
Is he what?
Well, I haven't finished my research yet.
What magazine did you submit the stuff to?
Oh, it's a wonderful publication. It gives you the real inside information in a high-class way.
Life, look, pick, click.
Dirt.
Dirt? You mean that horrible gossip magazine?
George, is that a nice way to talk about the magazine that's going to make us rich? Look, here's the latest issue. See what it says in the cover?
Sensational, daring expose, The Secret Love of Loretta Young by Gracie Allen. Say, you really came through.
Well, thanks, darling. And, George, I won't let my fame come between us. I'll still be a housewife no matter how many literary organizations beg me to join them.
Are they after you already?
Oh, sure. Just yesterday I got a letter asking me if I'd like to be a member of the Book of the Month Club.
Yeah, you're my little celebrity.
And when I first wrote this story, Dirt turned it down. I had no style.
No.
No. For instance, I wrote, every morning Loretta Young gets out of bed, walks downstairs, and eats the grapefruit.
But you changed that.
Mm-hmm. Now it reads, every morning luscious Loretta Young gets out of bed with a cry of ecstasy, walks downstairs in a sweater, and passionately eats the grapefruit.
Didn't take you long to get the hang of it. The title is pretty snappy, too. The Secret Love of Loretta Young.
Yeah, isn't it? I wonder if she really has one.
What?
I wonder if she has a secret love. I doubt it.
Wait a minute. She must have a secret love. You wrote that in your article.
Well, you don't believe everything you read, do you?
Gracie, if there's no truth in this thing, why did you write it?
Well, there's never been any scandal about poor Loretta, so I thought I'd give her a break.
Murder, you can't do that, Gracie.
Good morning, folks.
Good morning, Bill.
What's Gracie done now?
Look at this magazine.
Okay. The Secret Love of Loretta Young by Gracie Allen. Oh, say, Gracie, if you want these kind of stories, I'm your man.
Oh, really?
Now, Bill, she's done enough.
Why, I can tell you the secret love of almost every woman in town. I've seen this bird in plenty of women's homes, married and single.
Oh, who is it?
Swan.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Well, George, just remember that Swan's not only great for a woman's bath and for her hands and face, but it's great for bathing the baby and perfect for dishes and light laundry. Swan's the new white floating soap. It's 4 swell soaps in one, a great wartime buy.
Look, Bill, we'll be in plenty of trouble if Loretta Young reads this article. Maybe you can help us. Do you know Loretta?
Well, no, but you know how I handle women, George. Why, gosh, I could flatter her right out of being mad.
You think so?
Well, easy. I'll go to her and say, Loretta, darling, you're beautiful. You have a face like a dishpan full of swan suds.
What? Say that.
Well, George's nothing looks better to a woman than a dishpan full of swan suds. She knows that those long-lasting swan suds will help make short work out of washing the dishes. And she knows that Swan is so mild and gentle, you don't have to worry about rough dishpanny hands.
Never mind, Bill. We'll handle this thing ourselves.
Come in.
Mrs. Boynes?
Yes?
Hey,
who was that?
Aha! Look at this. I'm not the only one who thinks my magazine article will make us rich. Some smart lawyers think so, too.
What do you mean?
Well, they don't sue poor people for $50,000.
Oh, no.
A new popular ballad by our young tenor, Jimmy Cash. Little Did I Know. James?
Little did I know when I met you
I would learn to worship you so. Thought I'd kiss and then forget you. Little did I know. Little did I dream your caresses meant more than a passing hello. Now my foolish heart confesses, little did I know. April in the moonlight, the thrill of a June night, those bicycle rides with you. Christmas and Thanksgiving, the rapture of living, were things that I never knew. You were like a star far above me. I was just a dreamer below. Little did I dream you'd love me. Little did I know.
$50,000 we're being sued for. And all because you made up a story about Loretta Young's secret love.
Well, I was only trying to help George.
Hitler should have that kind of help. $50,000. Who's got that kind of money?
Well, I expect to earn quite a bit with my new article. It's called, Is Jane Russell a Man in Disguise?
Burn it and scatter the ashes. And furthermore...
What's the matter?
Here comes Loretta Young up the walk. Goodbye.
Oh, George, don't leave me alone with her. I'm afraid.
Sorry, baby. You got yourself into this. Get yourself out. I'm going to see a lawyer. Goodbye.
Hello, Gracie.
Oh, you want to see Gracie? Well, she's gone to Australia to entertain the Aleutians.
Now, it's no use. I know you.
Oh, you know me, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, come in, Loretta. I'm awfully glad to see you.
Yes, I guessed that. I came to talk to you about that story.
That story?
Yes.
Oh, yes. You mean that story about the moron who moved to the city because he heard the country was at war. Oh, yes. Cute, isn't it? George says that no one can do those moron things like me.
I agree 100%. But, Gracie, the story I'm talking about is The Secret Love of Loretta Young. Do you realize how much damage a story like that can do? Why, it's simply outrageous.
Oh, my, you're pretty.
This can involve me in all sorts of trouble. My studio's going to be furious.
Oh, I'd give $1 million for that complexion.
I've never been so upset, so angry in my whole life.
I wonder how you keep it so pretty.
Well, I start with a foundation cream and work it in.
Yes.
And then I pat on a little...
Yes.
Now, wait a minute. I've been tricked. Honestly, Gracie, a story like that, well, it could only be excused if it were written by a crazy person.
Oh. Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, well, it was.
You mean you admit it was written by a crazy person?
Mm-hmm. George. George? Yep. His old trouble is coming back again.
But the article is signed by you.
That's his old trouble. He thinks he's other people.
Gracie, do you want me to believe that your husband is a lunatic?
It would help a lot if you did.
Well, George always looked all right to me. Mentally, of course.
Oh, you can't go by appearances, Loretta. Think of George as a chocolate.
A chocolate?
Yes. You can't tell by looking at him whether inside he's plain or nuts.
Oh, dear. I wish you hadn't said that. Now, I'll never be able to bite into a chocolate without wondering if its name is George.
Oh, you're not taking me seriously, are you?
No, Gracie, I'm not. Why should he write such a story and sign your name?
Well, he thought he was me. You see, when George has these spells, he thinks he's all kinds of people. Well, one day he took away the key to my trunk and hid my suitcases, and he said, "You're staying home for a change."
Who did he think he was?
President Roosevelt.
Now, Gracie, you're putting up a very good fight, but I still think George is sane. I'm afraid you'll both have to face the music.
Music? Oh, now you really hit on his crazy spot.
What do you mean?
Well, he thinks he's a musician. Last week he thought he was Harry James.
Oh, poor Betty Grable.
Oh, he's really crazy when it comes to music, especially singing. He thinks he's Bing Crosby and Nelson Eddy put together.
That's an odd combination.
You're telling me. Why, every night he sets a trap for the stork and baits it with shortening bread.
I'm sorry, Gracie, but I don't believe any of this.
Oh, I can prove it to you. Oh, look, here comes George now. You just ask him if he doesn't think he's a great singer.
All right, I will.
Well, Gracie, I talked to our... Oh, you're still here, Miss Young.
Yes. I want to talk to you, Mr. Burns.
About the lawsuit?
Well, I'd like to clear up something else first. Do you think you're a great singer?
Well, I wouldn't say great. I'd say, well, I guess great is the word. Would you like to hear me sing?
Yes, I certainly would.
Well, this is the hot lick that has Crosby worried to death. Like Jackie Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere, and I don't care.
Well? And to think I doubted you, Gracie.
Huh?
Believe me, you have my deepest sympathy.
Now, see here, Miss
Now,
Young.
don't you come near me. You stay right where you are.
I won't bite you.
How do I know you won't? You might think you're a steam shovel and I'm a pile of sand.
You're kind of a screwball, aren't you?
Please don't say that. I've always heard that one can recognize another.
What's going on around
now,
here?
George, calm down. Remember your old trouble.
How can I forget you? A lawyer says we haven't got a leg to stand on. In the first place, you didn't type the story. It's in your own handwriting.
Wait a minute. It's in her handwriting?
Oh, sure.
Then she must have written it.
No, Herbert Hoover wrote it.
Oh, there you see? Now he thinks he's a G-man.
Gracie, let's not play any more games. Mr. Burns, I'm sorry. I owe you an apology.
I wouldn't be surprised. Now, tell me what for.
Well, I'll let your wife explain that. Goodbye, Gracie. I'll see you in court.
What's going on around here? In another minute, I'll be a raving maniac.
Oh, darn it. 2 minutes sooner and we would have saved $50,000.
Felix Mills and his orchestra, and tonight with the Swantet, a colorful salute to our valiant Marines.
Open the sea, let's go, men. We're shoving right off again. Nobody knows where or when. We're shoving right off again. It may be the can, Rangoon or Japan. We got a job we must do, and we will not come back until the crew is shoving right off so long to you. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we have fought our country's battles on the land and on the sea. Bred to fight for right and freedom, we're the finest ever seen, and we're proud to claim the title of United States Marines.
Now remember, Gracie, room 202 Arcade Building. We're gonna meet the attorneys there at 5 o'clock and try to settle out of court.
Yes, dear.
Even then, we'll have to pay Loretta Young plenty.
Well, that doesn't seem fair. I'm an honest person, and I made an honest mistake. Isn't there some way I can cheat her out of the money?
Gracie, there's only one thing could save us. If Loretta Young really had a secret lover.
You mean if a secret lover actually showed up, she couldn't sue us?
Hiya, folks.
Well, Bill, sit right down. How nice to see you.
Well, I'm going to stop off at the cigar store. See you at 5, Gracie.
Oh, Bill, have I got a surprise?
Yeah?
What would you do if I told you that a beautiful, glamorous movie star was secretly in love with you?
Oh, I just laugh and believe it.
I knew you would. It's Loretta Young.
Well, gee, you mean I'm the guy you wrote about in that article?
Sure. Loretta Young's mad about you. She's crazy about you.
I knew this would happen if I didn't stop washing my face with Swan. Swan is just so doggone wonderful, it made me even more irresistible than I used to be.
Oh, Bill, you're too modest.
Oh, well, Swan's not only great for washing your hands and face, but just the soap for bathing the baby. And it's great for dishes or light laundry. Swan is 4 swell soaps in one.
You know what Loretta likes about you, Bill?
What?
Your dimples.
Oh, my dimples aren't so much.
They're adorable when you smile.
Oh, you don't say. Well, I must smile more often. Let's see now. Doctors recommend Swan, the new white floating soap for bathing the baby. It's mild as fine castiles. It's so mild it's kind even to a little baby's tender. Hey, do they show, Gracie?
Oh, yeah.
Good. And since Swan is so mild, well, it's just well for your hands and face. You're complected.
Oh, Bill, whatever you do, stay away from Loretta Young. She's so crazy about you that if she sees you, she'll grab you and kiss you and hug you and squeeze you, and you wouldn't want that to happen.
Oh, no, she might break the bar of Swan in my pocket.
Sure.
Well, on the second thought, it wouldn't be bad.
No?
No, then I could put half in the kitchen and half in the bathroom. Swan breaks in two, you know, so you can use half for your hands and face, tub, or shower, and half for your dishes and light laundry.
Well, Bill, please remember to stay away from Loretta. She'll be in the arcade building at 5 o'clock.
Oh, well, I won't go near her, Gracie. What room should I stay away from?
202.
202. Well, I'll go straight home. I don't want any movie stars kissing me.
Well. Hello, Mr. Burns.
Oh, hello, Stanley. Give me 3 of my regular cigars.
Yes, sir. Perfecto Royales. I'll get them out of the safe.
You keep them in the safe?
Oh, yes, I have to. If I don't, they smell up the whole place. Here, your 3 cigars.
Here's your nickel.
Thank you. You seem depressed today, Mr. Burns. Trouble at home?
You said it. On account of my wife's latest brainstorm, I'm being sued for $50,000.
$50,000? My, that's a lot of Perfecto Royale.
Oh, yes.
Greetings, Stanley. 'Tis I, Bolingbroke. Well, hello, friend Burns.
Hello, Cue Ball.
Mr. Burns isn't feeling well, Cue Ball. He's being sued for $50,000.
The paltry sum. Why, when I was the idol of the American stage, I spent that much annually on cigars alone.
Oh, sure.
And speaking of cigars, when you have had your fill of that one, may I toy with the butt, please?
Cue Ball, don't bother me. Say, Wally, I just had an idea. How would you like to make some money?
With a minimum of effort.
I'll give you $5 to pose as Loretta Young's secret lover.
What? You wish me to lie, to deceive, to utter crass falsehood about an innocent demoiselle? I, Bolingbroke, a man of honor? Not for 1 cent less than $7.
I'll give you $5. All you have to do is come to the arcade building, room 202, at 5 o'clock and do your stuff.
$7 and not a cent less.
$5 and not a cent more.
Sir, it is not my custom to quibble over pennies. $6.75.
Now, look, Bolingbroke, just because you have me over a barrel...
I do have you over a barrel, don't I? Farewell, Burns.
Hey, Cue Ball, wait.
Oh, poor Mr. Burns. Such a nice man. And if he goes broke, I'll be stuck with all those horrible cigars. The arcade building, room 202.
Oh, hello, Loretta. Is your lawyer in?
Yes. He's in the next office drawing up some papers. I'm glad you decided to settle out of court, Gracie.
Well, I've changed my mind about that, Loretta. You see, I know that when I get on the stand in front of that jury, Oh, by the way, would you lift your skirt just a little?
My skirt? Oh, you mean like this?
Yes. My, your legs are pretty, too. This is going to be an awfully close case.
No, you haven't got a chance, Gracie. I have no secret lover.
One never knows, does one? Have you the time?
Yes, it's just 5 o'clock.
Well, here I am, Loretta, dimples and all.
I beg your pardon?
Well, don't just stare at me like that, Loretta. Come on, grab me in your arms.
Just who are you?
Oh, as if you didn't know. I'm your secret lover.
What?
One never knows, does one?
There must be some mistake.
Oh, there's no mistake. Care to stick a finger in one of my dimples?
Oh, Loretta, there goes your case.
Now, look here.
Just a moment. Miss Young, take a look at this man I brought with me.
Well, who is he?
I, madam, am your secret lover.
I what?
I, madam, am your secret lover.
My, Loretta, you've been a busy little girl, haven't you?
Well, now I suppose that...
How do you do, Miss Young?
Who are you?
Your secret lover.
My gracious, the place is just crawling with them.
Now, little man, you turn right around and march out that door. And take that ham actor with you.
Yes, ma'am.
You can go, too, Dimples.
Come on, lovers.
Now, suppose we discuss this lawsuit sensibly. Now that my love parade has passed.
All right. Guess I may as well tell the truth.
Yes, it's about time.
Yeah. Your real secret lover is George Burns.
Oh, Gracie, please.
Well, what's so funny? George would be a wonderful secret lover.
Oh.
Well, he would. Nothing to laugh at. He's a great lover.
Hey, wait a minute. Break this up. What's so funny about it? Gee, you think
Gracie, I'm sorry. I just can't stay mad at you. I'm ready to call this whole thing off if you are.
You mean it, Loretta?
Yes, I do. Now, Gracie, you'll just print a retraction in the next issue of the magazine. We'll forget all about it.
Oh, well, I'll be glad to print a retraction, Loretta. In fact, I'll write a new article denying that you have a secret lover.
Good.
I've got a wonderful title for it.
What?
Nobody Loves Loretta Young.
Well, George and Gracie will be right back. And meanwhile, I want to remind you that it's our patriotic duty not to waste soap. Now, you know, we have all the soap we need here in America, but we haven't any to waste. So just take it easy. For instance, when you're taking a bath or washing your hands and face with Swan, don't leave the bar of Swan in the tub or wash basin. Just use that Swan long enough to work up a swell lather. That'll only take a few seconds. And the same goes when you're doing dishes or light laundry. Swish the Swan around in the dishpan a couple of times until you have all the suds you want. Then put the Swan back in the soap dish. And look, you better be sure the soap dish is dry, because a wet soap dish will help dissolve and waste any soap. Well, that's about all. I just wanted to remind you, because the government wants not to waste soap. Well, here they are again, George and his ever-loving Mrs. Gracie.
Honestly, Gracie, the messes you get me in, I just...
Well, I can't help it, George. We French, we're so excitable, so passionate.
You're French?
Ooh la la.
What's this all about, anyway?
Well, George, don't you know who's going to be on our program next week? Charles Boyer.
Oh, that's why you're French?
Trey, of course.
Our guest tonight, Miss Loretta Young, is currently working in the Paramount picture Now Tomorrow. The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in to your Columbia station again next week, same time, when we'll have as our guest Charles Boyer. The following week, Ida Lupino. Remember, George Burns and Gracie Allen, CBS next Tuesday night. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
The Amos and Andy Show. A full half hour of entertainment with all the Amos and Andy characters, plus Bud Gluskin and his orchestra, and those famous Delta Rhythm Boys. The Kingfisher's wife, Sapphire, has come to the conclusion that her husband's association with Andy Brown is the main cause of him being such a shiftless loafer. And right now, she's telling the Kingfish about it.
George Stevens, I've made up my mind that I'm going to have a husband that dresses good, knows nice people, and has got a steady job.
Sapphire, you mean to say that you was going to leave me?
George, I know why you're a no-good bum. It's on account of your association with Andy Brown. Why don't you try to meet a nicer class of men?
Well, I ain't got the opportunity to meet them. They're all working. I'm going to do that.
Well, that Andy Brown is the cause of it all. What has he ever accomplished?
Well, yesterday he had a run of 13 balls in the side pocket without leaning on the table.
Now, that's exactly what I mean. Andy hanging around a pool table all day. Why don't he go to a cultured place like the public library?
They ain't got no pool table there. What do you mean?
All Andy thinks about is pool table. He ain't got no background.
Well, he got a rich uncle, honey, by the name of Sylvester, that's got a rubber plantation down in Brazil. He wrote a letter to his Uncle Sylvester last week.
Listen, George Stevens, we ain't going to let Andy Brown ruin our married life. And I want you to do something about it.
Come in, Henry, come in.
Well, how's everything at the lodge today, Kingfish?
Well, everything's all right, Sheriff, but my wife really been jumping on me. She claimed that I got to break off my friendship with Andy on account of him being a lazy, good-for-nothing bum.
Well, my wife, Clara, told me the same thing.
Oh, is she going to break off with Andy?
No. Clara was talking about you, Kingfish.
My wife wants me to pick out better people to associate with.
Well, yes, it would be nice if you could pick out a man like, say our society leader, Mr. Torrance Washburn III.
Torrance Washburn III, yeah. So tell me this, why does they call him the third?
His mother was married twice before.
Yeah. Is he a successful man?
Oh, yes, indeed. And he's opened up a fix-it shop. But the last thing he fixed got him in a little trouble.
What was that?
A football game.
Yeah, see what you mean. Well, Andy's a bum, all right.
Yeah?
Well, come in, Lightning.
Yes, how is you, Lightning? How is you?
Did y'all hear the good news about Miss Andy?
Well, no, I haven't, Lightning. What is it?
Well, he just got a telegram from his Uncle Sylvester down in Brazil that owns a rubber plantation.
Rubber plantation?
Yeah, sir. And he wants Andy to come down there as his assistant and will pay him $200 a week.
Holy Moses.
Yes, that is news.
Miss Andy sure is happy. Well, so long, I'll quiz right on that.
Well, Kingfish, how do you like that? $200 a week. That's a real break for Andy.
Break? $200 a week sounds more like a compound fracture to me there.
Yes, indeed. Andy will be on the gravy train. Too bad that you can't hitch a ride on the caboose.
Yeah, you know, I think of that minute he said $200 a week there. Trouble is, my wife won't leave New York City, you see.
Andy going to Brazil. That's quite an expensive trip, too. The travel agent will make quite a hunk of money on that ticket.
Yeah, that is right. Them travel agents do. Say, speaking of the caboose, I think I'll go into the travel agent business right now. Travel anywhere. World Tours Incorporated.
Hello there, Kingfish.
Well, Andy, the only reason I dropped by is to tell you that I'm too busy to drop by today. I just formed a new company that arranges transportation all over the world, specializing in South America.
Yeah, well, that's a coincidence. I just got a wire from my Uncle Sylvester. He asked me to come to Brazil to help him manage his rubber plantation.
Yes, that's so. You don't mean to tell me. Maybe I can help you with your transportation. I got a regular travel bureau that I'm running now. Only costs you about 10 or 15% extra there.
Well, I've been thinking this thing over since I got the telegram. I don't know if I want to go to Brazil, leave all my friends up here in New York. Might be too hot down there for me.
Well, truth of the matter is very cool, and Brazil is noted for its wonderful humidity. Oh, on a cool night, you can take an easy chair there and just sit out on the tarantula there with cigars in your mouth, you know.
Well, Kingfish, I was talking to somebody about it, and they told me that sometimes it gets 103 in the shade down there.
Yeah, well, you ain't going to be crazy enough to sit in the shade, though, will you? Now about your transportation, man, you got to get a passport to get out the country.
Yeah, well, I want to get on one that don't rock much because I get seasick.
No, you're thinking of a transport. I'm talking about a passport, Anna. That's a little book with your picture on it tell you who you is.
Well, I know who I is.
Yeah, but Anna, you got to have a passport.
Well, I ain't got no passport for the country I was living in now.
Of course you don't, Anna. This here ain't a foreign country.
That's funny. I was talking to my Chinese laundryman, and he told me it was.
Now, wait a minute. Look here. Take my word for it. You got to have a passport, and you got to have a picture. Now, why don't you go down to the police department and get that picture of you they got down there? You know, they got your record.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Must I get the full face or the profile?
Oh, get the full face, but don't forget to snip the number off the back before you paste it on the thing.
And you say that your company takes care of all the transportation.
Oh, yeah. Tell you everything to do, save your worry, save your trouble, save you all that stuff.
Say, somebody told me that I got to pass through customs. What is that?
Customs? Everybody passes through customs, and it's a lovely trip. You'll enjoy that.
Yeah, well, tell me this. Where is customs?
Customs? You don't mean to tell me you don't know where it is?
No, I got no idea where.
Oh, it's about 60 miles from the Rock of Gibraltar. Called the Custom Islands, owned by Spain. Mm-hmm. Oh, you was here despising old Spanish customs, or you?
Okay, Kingfish, this thing sounds pretty good to me. You arrange the whole trip.
Oh, great, and I'll do that.
Tell me this, do I go direct to Brazil from New York?
Well, you might take a little side trip and have some fun on the way down. Maybe I can arrange for you to stop off for a few days at a place that you'll enjoy.
Is it any good?
Is it any good? Listen, man.
Managua, Nicaragua is a beautiful town. You buy a hacienda for a few pesos down. You give it to the lady you are trying to win. But Papa doesn't let you come in. Managua, Nicaragua is a heavenly place. You ask the senorita for a legal embrace. She answers you, caramba, scramble, bambarito. In Managua, Nicaragua, that's low. I have been to many tropic ports. I like good, even Brooklyn. If you're ever feeling out of sorts, I'd like to recommend a looking. Managua, Nicaragua, what a wonderful spot. There's coffee and bananas and a temperature hot. So take a trip and on a ship go sailing away. Across the agua to Managua, Nicaragua, ole. Managua, Nicaragua is a town you'll adore. A kiss from Senorita has you pleading for more. Before you take the second one, you've got to propose. Her papa leads you out by the nose. Managua, Nicaragua is really the top. You buy a big sombrero from a neighborhood shop, and then the girls will follow you like in a parade. Because they want to walk in the shade. You can see some enchiladas all the day long, provided that the stomach is especially strong. So take a trip and on a ship go sailing away. Across the agua to Managua, Nicaragua. Across the agua to Managua, Nicaragua. I'll go in this new travel bureau here in Harlem and see the man about getting Andy Brown down to Brazil there. Say, Mook, I'd like to get waited on.
Now, wait a minute. Don't come in here shooting off your mouth about being waited on. Busy as I is. You got to wait your turn. Take a number off the counter there.
All right, I'll take one. Number 65.
Now take a seat till we call you. Number 65.
I'd like to find out about the boat passage.
Yeah, glad to take care of you, my friend, because that's my business. Matter of fact, I'm right in the middle of arranging a round-the-world trip for a fella right now. He don't want to spend but $75.
Two around the world for $75. Can you work it out?
Oh, yeah. Of course, he's going to have us do an awful lot of walking.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I got to get this ticket over to him right away, too. Excuse me a minute while I check this over.
Yeah, go ahead. Take this thing out there.
SS, Queen Elizabeth to England. Walk across Europe. Take Shanghai Express right into Shanghai, China. Now, let's see. 7,000 miles from home, and there's $1.85 left.
$1.85?
I sure hope he likes China.
Look here, mister. I ain't got much time. I won't arrange passage for a friend of mine.
Certainly. I can handle it for you. Been all over the world myself. Where does he want to go?
Brazil.
Brazil? That name sounds familiar. Let me look at this big map here. Brazil.
It ought to be on there.
Mm-hmm. It ain't in Europe. Don't see it in Asia. Wait a minute. It's coming back to me now. Wait a minute. Let's get over here. Let's get over to Africa here. Yeah. No, it ain't there. What is this place here? Say, how about sending your friend to Australia instead?
No. He wants to go to Brazil.
Well, we can't send him there if we can't find a place, can we? Talk sensible, man.
Can't you find a place on the thing?
Wait a minute. Here's a spot for your friend. Hawaiian Island. He can see them hoochie hula girls in their grass skirts.
No, he wants to go.
You know them gals over there wear long grass skirts in the winter, short grass skirts in the summer. And if he leaves now, he'll get over there just in time to see them rotating their crops.
Rotating their crops. Well, that would be worth seeing, all right, I guess. Don't you think that would be worth seeing?
Well, ain't it the truth?
Wait a minute, Mother. Here, Brazil, right down here in South America.
Is that where you found it? It must be that new clerk I got. He never put the countries back where they belong.
Well, now, look, Mother, I want to get the cheapest possible boat passage to Brazil.
Well, the cheapest is a cattle boat. Got one going down with 5,000 head on board. The boat ticket is $50.
Cattle boat, huh?
Yeah, and for a little extra money, I might fix it up so your friend can eat at the captain's table.
Yeah, well, maybe you ain't got to travel that high class.
Well, on a cattle boat, there's a wide spread between eating at the captain's table and the next accommodation.
What is the next eating accommodation?
A low trough.
Let me see here now.
And if you'd like to spend $10 more, I could get him on an extra fare cattle boat.
Extra fare? What's the advantage of that?
Well, there's two advantages. You get to travel with prize-winning cattle, and they put a bed in your stall.
Well, Brother Andy, I was back. I had to spend the whole $150 that you give me. Here's your ticket to Brazil. Oh, big ocean liner, ain't it? Big ocean liner.
Yeah, let me see this ticket.
Oh, there you are. Look at that. A lot of ticket there, ain't it? About a foot and a half long. Look at that.
Yeah, say here, passage for one on the SS Guernsey.
Oh, yeah, Andy, that's a double-A prime boat, all right, boy. That's a good boat.
Well, it's funny I never heard of the SS Guernsey. Is that going to be a nice crowd on there?
Oh, yeah, there'll be mostly a Texas bunch. You get along. Hey, you going to like the boat, Andy.
Well, will I get a chance to talk to a lot of friends on the boat?
Oh, yeah, in the evening you can sit out on the deck there and chew the cud with all the people there, yeah.
Well, wait a minute. I don't know if I want to talk much at night like that. I want to get to bed early.
Yeah, well, Andy, I'll guarantee every night you'll be in the hay by 7. I know that.
Hey, Kingfish. I know this is a kind of a silly question, but could this be a cattle boat I'm going on?
Well, there's a few cattle on board, but the finest boats on the ocean carry cattle on them. Cattle will travel on all boats. Even the Queen Elizabeth's got a steerage on it. Oh, yeah, we get
Yeah, well, how many cows was on this boat?
Well, the steerage on this boat handles about 5,000, small group.
How about getting me on a boat where they uses people for steerage?
Oh, don't worry about steerage, Andy. With the wind blowing right, you'll never notice it, I tell you what. There's a lot of advantages in traveling on a cattle boat, Andy. Think of the amusement.
What kind of amusement?
Oh, there's a lot of deck sports. Lasso yourself a few steers, play pin the tail on the heifer, and all that stuff there.
Well, I guess the cattle boat's okay.
Oh, fine, Brother Andy. And I'll get all of our friends to come down to the dock when you leave and bid you bon Holstein.
By the way, Kingfish, where'd I go to get on this boat?
Oh, just go down to Pier 52, Andy.
Which boat is it?
Well, I don't know exactly where it's standing, but you can, mister. Just follow the flies. Come in, Amos, come in.
How is you, pal?
Well, traveler, I just come over to talk to you. Yeah. Well, I'll leave you two boys alone. See you later. So long, boys.
So long. Well, I'm going to Brazil, Amos. Got my ticket and everything.
Yeah, I was over to the newspaper talking to Fred Gwendell, and he told me that you're leaving. He wants to come over and interview you, Andy.
Oh, boy, that's great. Put my picture in the paper with a story, huh?
Oh, yeah. What kind of stuff are you going to tell him?
Well, I'll start off with my childhood, my school days. School days.
I remember your school days.
Oh, that was one of the happiest weeks of my life.
Well, I'll tell Gwendell to come on over here then for the interview, huh?
Yeah, tell him to bring a bunch of pencils with a lot of paper. I'll give him an interview like he ain't never seen before in his life.
Well, Andy, I hope you have a nice trip and arrive in Brazil nice and healthy, boy.
Healthy? Amos, by the time I get off that boat, I'll be homogenized. Well, Fred Gwendell, how was the newspaper business, Fred?
Well, great, Andy, great. My editor called me in the office. That told me to come over here and interview you and get some dope. Start doping me, boy. Start doping me, that's all.
Well, Fred, I'm going to Brazil. You think I'll like it down
there?
Oh,
you will love it down there, Andy. You will love that country. Oh, yeah, wonderful.
You know?
Oh, Brazil is a very picturesque country, Andy. It's got beautiful mountains, lovely lakes, gorgeous beaches, and breathtaking valleys. And the scenery is nice, too. Yeah, but you won't get much sleep down there, Andy.
How come I won't get much sleep?
Well, Andy, ain't you here? There's an awful lot of coffee in Brazil. I's a killer, ain't I?
Well, how about this interview that I have?
Well, you know, Andy, Brazil is noted for its exports to this country. We get most of our coffee from there, and most of our common Mirandas. There I go again.
Well, now, how about the interview?
Well, now, look, I'll tell you what I'll do. Are you going to take a boat going down there? You will love the boat ride. Ocean all the way, Andy, and it's a wonderful way of traveling. You know, traveling on a boat has a certain air about it.
Yeah, well, this boat I'm going on's got that all right.
Yeah, I tell you.
Now, to the interview. When I was very young...
Well, now, I think I got enough from you now, ain't I? Got enough from you.
Wait a minute. I ain't told you nothing yet. Don't you need some facts?
Facts? No, Andy. I'm a newspaper man. When I write news, facts get them away. Get them away.
By the way, Fred, when I get down there, what'll I do about learning the language?
Well, now, all they speak down there is Portuguese, Andy. All they speak is Portuguese. You got to get somebody to teach you. Now, as soon as you land down there, Andy, I'll give you a tip. Grab yourself a Portuguese, and he'll learn you, son.
Mama done told me when I was in East Town. My mama done told me that she, son, a woman with sweet talk can give you the big eye. But when the sweet talking's done, a woman's a two-faced,
all right, brother,
or worry something who'll leave you to sing the blues in the night.
Right.
Now the rains are falling here, the train are calling, ooh-wee. My mama done told me, hear that lonesome whistle blowing across the tracks of ooh-wee.
Yep, my mama done told me.
Ah-hoo-wee, da hoo-wee, oh clickety-clacker, echoing back the blues in the night. The evening breeze will start the trees to crying, and the moon will hide its light. When you get the blues in the night, take my word, the mockingbird will sing the saddest kind of song. He knows things are wrong and he's right. You know he's always right. From Natchez to Mobile, from Memphis to St. Joe, wherever the fall winds blow. I've been in some big towns and heard me some big talk, but there is one thing I know. A woman's a true face, a worrisome thing who leave you to sing the blues in the night. Got the blues on my left, the blues on my right, the blues in the day my mama was right. I've got those blues in the night.
Well, hello there, LaGuardia. See you about some legal matters here.
Hal, come in.
Yeah, well, tell me this. As you're going out, I see a note there on your desk, say, back at 4 o'clock.
No, that's my appointment with the chiropractor. He's coming over at 4 to work on my back.
Yeah. Now, listen, LaGuardia, let's sit down and get down to this legal advice here. Now, here's the story. Another fella got a telegram from his uncle to come to Brazil for a big job, and I want that job.
Well, why don't you take his ticket and go down there?
Well, if I'd done that, is there any possible way I can get in any trouble?
Oh, sure. There must be some way. I'll find it.
No, look here. I done decided to talk him out of going. Now, could he do anything to me?
Well, he could call the Coast Guard and start extradition proceedings.
Extradition proceedings, what's that?
I don't know exactly, but it's somewhere where they find out where you're going to be and check up on where you ain't, and then they pick you up where you is and bring you back to where you were.
Tell me this, can they do that, Stonewall?
Oh, yeah, they can. Now, I remember one case I had. I went with the police up to Canada to bring back a man.
Yeah, did you get him?
Yeah. I brought him all the way back to New York. He fought all the way, but I got him there. And boy, was he mad.
The man was mad, huh?
Yeah, I'll say he was. I had the wrong man.
Well, Stonewall, look here, I just been thinking here, the only thing for me to do in my case is to unsell the fella on going to Brazil. Now, if I run into any trouble on the thing, I'll call you.
Now, you better call me early, see, 'cause I got to go see a man about taking him in as a partner in my law office.
Oh, a partner. That's a good idea.
Yeah, he's a good man. He cashed a check for $2,500 and bought a half interest in my law business.
$2,500?
Yeah. Now I got to go to court and watch him in action.
Oh, yeah. Tell me this. Has he got a case in court?
Yeah, forgery case. I'm suing him for signing my name to that check.
Come in, Kingfish. I'm getting all ready for my big trip to Brazil.
Well, now, wait a minute, Anna. There's still a few little details that ain't been took care of yet before anybody leaves for dangerous country.
What kind of details?
Well, now, before you can leave, Andy, you got to get your inoculation shots. I'd say you'd be ready for surgery at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Surgery?
Oh, nothing to worry about. You might get over it. You just gotta go to the hospital and let the doctors give you them inoculations with them hypochondriac needles, you know what they say.
Well, wait a minute here. I don't want nobody jabbing me with no needles. Them needles hurt.
No, Andy. When they plunges that needle into your arm, you don't even feel it.
The needles?
No, your arm, boy.
Well, what is I got to have all these shots for?
Brother Andy, you was traveling with purebred blooded cattle, and they ain't taking no chances.
Yeah, I don't want to mess up the cattle. But these shots you talking about has got me scared.
Well, you got to have them, Andy. Going to Brazil, that's the law. The law reads that you got to have tetanus shots, typhoid, yellow fever, and the worst of all, of course, is the jaundice shot.
Where did they shoot you for that?
Usually in the left jaundice.
Oh, no, that's where I fooled them. I had my jaundices cut out when I was a kid.
Oh, I do.
But I was going anyway, and I'm going to go home and pack up my stuff and catch the boat tonight.
Yeah, well, tell you what you do, Andy. Give me your boat ticket, and I'll go over to see my doctor. Give me the ticket now. That's it.
Okay.
I'll have my doctor stamp it for you so you won't have to take the shot.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Do that for me. There he is. There's the ticket. See you after a while. So long.
Well, it didn't work. $200 a week. That's big dough. I was going to take that job myself. I was doing this, and it was good. I was going down and get on that boat. South America, open up them golden gates.
no use of you getting mad and all excited.
Oh, of all the dirty, low-down, double-crossing crooks, that Kingfisher's the lowest. He done took my steamship ticket, and last night he went down and got on the boat himself.
Oh, hello there, Sapphire.
Where's my husband at? He didn't come home last night, and he left a note saying that he was going away to make his fortune and that he'd send for me later.
Yeah, that no-good chiseler took my ticket and left for Brazil because he knowed that I got a wire from my Uncle Sylvester offering me a job down there, $200 a week.
Good heavens!
What's the matter?
I wanted to fix things so George wouldn't hang around with you no more. And I'm the one that sent you that wire and signed it Uncle Sylvester.
If you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kick on Route 66. It winds from Chicago to L.A. More than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kick on Route 66. You go to St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City, look right at City, you'll see Amarillo. Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Bosco, San Bernardino, want you. Get hip to this time, make it. When you make that California trip, get your kick on Route 66. Leaving for L.A., shouting hip hooray, going across today. Hey, hey, hey. Haven't got to worry, but I'm gonna hurry, 'cause we got a gal in town heading for that state. I hate to be late, so don't you hesitate, Jake. Can't wait. Won't you get hit? You zip to this time, make it. When you make that California trip, get your kick on Route 66. I'm happy as can be, so won't you come with me and take that righteous route? Show has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. It's time once again for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks, written by Al Lewis. Well, last Thursday was Thanksgiving Day, and most of us realized that we had quite a bit to be thankful for. Even our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School.
Yes, the holiday means a lot to me. First, it gives me an opportunity to relax and count my lack of blessings. And second, it offers a chance to catch up on several days' brooding. But this Thanksgiving was different. I knew it was going to be when I joined my landlady at breakfast last Wednesday morning. Good morning, Mrs. Davis. Did you have a nice night?
Wonderful, Connie. I didn't sleep a wink.
That sounds like fun.
I was planning my menu for tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving, you know, and I wanted something special for Minerva and me.
Minerva? Oh, there you are, you cute little kitten.
Where is she, Connie?
taking my stocking off with her cute little paws. Stop it, Minerva. Now get away from my stocking. Either get away from those or knit me a new pair with that ball of yarn you play with.
Go out to the kitchen, Minerva. I want you to hear about tomorrow's menu.
What are you having, Mrs. Davis?
Minerva's favorite dish. S-Q-U-A-B. It doesn't do a bit of good to spell things out anymore.
I guess she's too old for that. Please go into the kitchen, Minerva. There's some milk out there. Right under the S-I-N-K. Don't tell me she slammed the door behind her.
No, that was me, Connie. I wanted to show you the squab I got for tomorrow.
Oh, I'd like to see it.
Well, here it is.
Where? Oh, right there behind that carrot.
It isn't very big, is it?
I've seen stuffing with larger drumsticks.
You know, Connie, I was all ready to get a nice 10-pound turkey yesterday when the clerk at the market said something that made me change my mind.
What did he say?
$8.30.
Well, that is a pretty rude remark.
I'm afraid I was a little testy when I complained about the price. Anyway, when I demanded something cheaper, this is the bird he gave me.
You certainly did.
Well, it'll be enough for Minerva and myself. I suppose you've already been invited somewhere for turkey and all the fixings.
Where would you suggest?
Hasn't Mr. Boynton asked you out for Thanksgiving dinner, Connie?
Not yet, Mrs. Davis, but this morning he's going to be exposed to the most thorough opportunity to do so.
Good.
Of course, Mr. Boynton's been on a very strict budget lately. He probably can't afford any turkey dinners.
Then you bring him back here with you, Connie.
Oh, that's very sweet of you, Mrs. Davis, but that squab...
We'll make it do. Remember the old saying, there's always room for just one more.
In this case, you must mean one more squab. Well, thanks anyway, Mrs. Davis. After all, we've still got our health, which is more than I can say for that squab.
Of course, I'd rather see you eat a nice turkey dinner tomorrow. Maybe you could wangle yourself an invitation from one of your friends.
Oh, please, Mrs. Davis. Oh, that must be Walter Denton. He's giving me a lift to school. Be right there, Walter.
Why don't you find out what his folks are planning for tomorrow? Maybe you could get yourself invited there.
I'm surprised at you, Mrs. Davis. Why, I'd never forced myself on anyone in my life.
Connie, take another look at that squab.
Like I say, Walter's mother may not know it yet, but there's always room for just one more. Oh, it certainly is nice weather for Thanksgiving, isn't it, Walter?
It's more than nice, Miss Brooks. This air is absolutely succulent. It's downright savory and delicious.
One more crack like that, and I'll be gnawing on the steering wheel. Tell me, Walter, how do you usually spend Thanksgiving?
Well, usually, Mom cooks a big turkey and we have dinner around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Gosh, I'll never forget last year's meal. First, we had a fresh fruit cup, then some delicious vegetable soup, and then this big golden brown turkey was served with a special dressing made out of chestnuts and raisins and stuff, and... You want to hear the rest of it, Miss Brooks?
Certainly. Just pass me a blotter and keep talking.
Well, I don't remember all the dishes, but the hot mince pie was really tops. Now, my mom is just about the best cook in this town.
And like most good cooks, she probably prepares more food than she really needs.
Oh, sure. Last year's turkey, the whole family had turkey, turkey giblets, turkey sandwiches, and turkey hash.
That's because you didn't invite enough guests over for Thanksgiving dinner. You know, Walter, I've often thought that people who are so close to each other all year round should somehow manage to spend their holidays together as well.
What kind of people are you talking about, Miss Brooks?
Well, school teachers and students, for example.
Who needs teachers on a holiday? I mean, most teachers you get enough of during school hours, if present company accepted, of course. Oh, you're a lot different, Miss Brooks.
I know, I'm hungrier. Look, Walter, about spending Thanksgiving together, if you're planning to be with your folks...
Oh, but I'm not, Miss Brooks. Now, my mother and Dad are going out of town for the weekend. It's my Dad's first vacation in 2 years.
How come you're not leaving town with them?
It's my Dad's first vacation in 2 years. Oh, he loves me, but he thinks I'm a little wearing in spots. So I'm staying over at
Stretch Snodgrass's house until next week.
Oh, I see. Then you'll have Thanksgiving dinner with Mr. and Mrs. Snodgrass.
No, ma'am, they're going away with my folks. They're good friends, you know, just like Stretch and me. But, Miss Brooks, I think your idea about spending Thanksgiving together is swell.
You do?
Sure. Now, why don't you and Stretch and me have dinner tomorrow?
Dinner? Well, that might be very nice, Walter.
Oh, great. Then Stretch and I will be over to your place at 3 o'clock sharp.
My place?
Well, yeah. That is, if you still want us.
I wouldn't be without you. But, Walter, Mrs. Davis did the shopping yesterday, and there just weren't any good-sized turkeys left that she could afford. So what she bought was a very
what she bought isn't important, Miss Brooks. What counts is spending Thanksgiving with people who mean something to you. Gee, the Pilgrim certainly had it all over us modern characters. When a pilgrim wanted to celebrate the holiday, he just picked up his musket and shot himself a turkey.
At the current prices, Walter, the only way I'll have a turkey tomorrow is if I pick up a musket and shoot myself a butcher.
Come in.
Good morning, Mr. Boynton. I just wanted to talk to you for a minute before your first class.
Oh, I'm glad you dropped in, Miss Brooks. I've got some rather exciting news this morning.
I'll be glad to. What is it, Mr. Boynton?
Well, do you remember the raffle ticket I bought last month in Marty's malt shop?
Oh, on that green Adam's hat with the red feather?
No, on a tom turkey. They had the drawing last night, and I won. Isn't that wonderful?
That is what I call the coincidence of all time.
Coincidence?
Why do you think I stopped by your laboratory this morning?
Well, I don't know.
To invite you over for Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow.
Well, that is nice of you, Miss Brooks. I'll be happy to come over. About what time will you be expecting me?
I'll be expecting you and Tom about noon.
Tom? Oh, you mean the turkey. Well, I'm afraid he won't be with me, Miss Brooks. You see, at this very moment, the turkey is on a train headed upstate.
Why? Did he get fed up with our climate?
Oh, I sent him up to my folks' place. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford to visit my parents this year, but, well, now they'll have something to remind them of me anyhow.
Must be a very tall turkey. What did he weigh, Mr. Boynton?
Oh, about 18 pounds. Of course, what I'd do with an 18-pound turkey, I'll never know.
Until tomorrow. So I'd better be running along now. On second thought, you needn't get to the house until 3 or 3:30. On third thought, you can back out of the whole thing if you want to.
Back out? I should say not. I'll be there all right, and thanks for the invitation.
You're welcome. But, Mr. Boynton, if you're expecting the conventional Thanksgiving Day dinner, you're liable to be a little disappointed. I'm just not having it.
Oh, what are you having?
So far, Walter Denton and Stretch Snodgrass.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith. Now, proof that brushing teeth right after eating with Colgate Dental Cream helps stop tooth decay before it starts. Continuous research, hundreds of case histories, makes this the most conclusive proof in all dentifrice research on tooth decay. Eminent dental authorities supervised hundreds of college men and women for over 2 years. One group always brushed their teeth with Colgate right after eating. The other followed their usual dental care. The group using Colgate Dental Cream as directed, using Colgate's exclusively, showed a startling reduction in average number of cavities, far less tooth decay. The other group developed new cavities at a much higher rate. No other dentifrice offers proof of these results.
Modern research shows decay is caused by mouth acids, which are at their worst right after eating. Brushing teeth with Colgate as directed helps remove acids before they harm enamel. Yes, Colgate contains all the necessary ingredients, including an exclusive patented ingredient for effective daily dental care.
So remember, always use Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay.
Well, Thanksgiving Day arrived right on schedule, mostly because I couldn't do anything to stop it. After breakfast, I headed straight for the kitchen. There, I took a good look at Mrs. Davis's squab. Then I took an aspirin. Then I gave the squab an aspirin. Then I decided to make Mrs. Davis a full partner in my panic. Oh, this is terrible, Mrs. Davis. We can't possibly serve 5 people with this amount of food.
Calm down, Connie. We'll make out some way. I've got cans of salmon in the house, and some cheese and crackers and tidbits of one sort or another.
But one doesn't serve tidbits for Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, I wish that bird looked bigger. Did you stuff him again since we last discussed it?
I've stuffed him 5 times since then, Connie. In fact, the last time I went to fill him up, I got the feeling that he was trying to kick my hand away.
Oh, it's no use, Mrs. Davis. It just won't work.
I still think you should follow the advice I gave you yesterday, Connie, and get yourself invited out for a real turkey dinner.
But I've already asked Mr. Boynton to join me.
Then get him invited along with you.
Well, what about Stretch Snodgrass and Walter Denton?
Take them along, too.
Why not? While we're at it, why don't you and Minerva join our happy little group?
We'd love to, Connie. Where are we going?
I don't know where you're going, but I'm going to take another aspirin.
I'm sure the Conklins would like to have you over. I ran into Martha yesterday, and she told me that she was all ready to carve a huge turkey.
Oh, is she fighting with Mr. Conklin again?
Now, don't be silly, Connie. Martha even remarked yesterday that she was hoping Mr. Conklin would ask some of the teachers in to share their dinner.
I can just picture that. If Mr. Conklin saw any teachers at his dinner table, he wouldn't know what to bite first.
That doesn't apply to Mr. Boynton, though. Osgood is quite fond of him. And he's also extremely taken with Stretch Snodgrass. Thinks he's the best athlete Madison's ever had.
Well, what about his attitude toward me?
Call anyway. Remember, Connie, pride goes before a fall. You've got to make a hit with Mr. Boynton. Here, I'll dial the number for you.
Oh, but Mrs. Davis, Mr. Conklin can't stand the sight of Walter Denton.
No,
I know he
dear. His daughter Harriet is crazy about the boy.
Hello?
One moment, please. Miss Brooks is calling. Here, Connie.
Oh, hello?
Oh, hello, Miss Brooks. This is Harriet. Gee, I'm glad you called. You're having Walter Denton over for dinner, aren't you?
That's the original plan, Harriet.
I wish we could all have dinner together, Miss Brooks. I was just talking to Mother about it this minute.
You were? Well, now that's funny. I wanted to talk to Mother about the same thing.
Wonderful, Miss Brooks. Wait a minute, I'll put her on.
Thanks, Harriet. Harriet and her mother were just talking about getting together for dinner, Mrs. Davis.
Hello, Miss Brooks.
Hello, Mrs. Conklin.
Forgive me if I talk rather quietly, but Mr. Conklin's taking a nap in the living room. He needs the rest, you know. He's been rather irritable lately.
I know, for the last 5 years. We've known each other for 5 years now, and, well, the reason I called...
Harriet told me, Miss Brooks. I just know you feel exactly as we do. That people should share their Thanksgiving joy with their friends.
That's right, Mrs. Conklin. You understand, though, that it isn't just me. I've already invited Walter, Stretch, and Mr. Boynton.
The more the merrier, I always say.
Well, I'm glad you always say that, Mrs. Conklin, because my little party lacks just one thing, which you and only you can provide.
What a beautiful way to put it. I can only say, Miss Brooks, that we'll be proud and happy to share Thanksgiving dinner with you and your friends.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Conklin.
Thank you, my dear. Harriet and Mr. Conklin and I will be at your place at 2 o'clock sharp.
It's almost 1, Mother. Don't you think we should wake Daddy?
In a minute, Harriet. Did you take our turkey down to the mission like I told you?
Yes, Mother. I just got back. They certainly were grateful. The man said it would feed almost a dozen people who ordinarily would go without any Thanksgiving meal at all.
Fine, dear. I know your father will be happy at the thought of sharing with our lesser privileged citizens. Now go on in and wake him up, Harriet.
Yes, Mother. Daddy?
Have some more white meat, please.
It's time to get up, Daddy.
Hmm? What's the matter? Oh, it's you, child. What time is it?
1 o'clock. How do you feel after your nap?
Fine, Harriet, just fine. Except for one thing.
What's that?
I could eat my weight in wildcats. Martha! Oh, Martha!
Yes, dear? What is it?
Let's not wait till 2 o'clock for dinner. I'd like to eat right now.
Oh, but Osgood,
I saw that turkey in the oven when it was finished this morning, Martha, and I just can't get it out of my mind. Oh, it sure smells good, too.
You must have a pretty long smeller, dear. We gave our turkey to the folks who run the mission. We're going out for dinner.
Oh, but I don't want to go out. I want to eat in my robe and slippers and... You gave our turkey to whom?
It's a mission, dear. It's like a municipal shelter, you know.
The man said our turkey would feed almost a dozen underprivileged citizens.
Oh, he did. Well, teachers are underprivileged citizens, too. But I don't give them my Thanksgiving dinner.
Now, calm down, Osgood. This is no day for your high blood pressure to get out of hand. We're going over to Margaret Davis' place to have dinner with Miss Brooks and some of her friends.
Miss Brooks, who needs teachers on a holiday?
Mrs. Davis is a very exotic cook. I'm sure she'll have some wonderful dishes prepared for you.
But I don't want Mrs. Davis's dishes. I want turkey. Turky. Turkey.
Now, everyone buys too much for Thanksgiving dinner. Otherwise, we'd have brought our turkey over to Miss Brooks. But as it is, think of the joy you're sharing with the people at the mission, Osgood.
Joy my foot. The food at Miss Brooks' place had better be good today. Good. It had better be great.
Every time I tried to call Mrs. Conklin back, the party line was in use. Now they don't answer. They're probably on their way over here this minute to eat dinner or not to eat dinner.
Please, Connie, you're beginning to sound like Hamlet. Don't worry so about the Conklins. They'll probably bring their turkey over with them, and we'll have plenty.
Do you really think so, Mrs. Davis?
We'll soon know, Connie. Will you answer the door, please? I'm trying to find some more cans of salmon, just in case.
All right, Mrs. Davis.
Happy Thanksgiving, Miss Brooks.
A very happy Thanksgiving, Miss Brooks.
Hello.
The same to you. But is this all the party?
Well, what do you mean, Miss Brooks?
I mean, just you three? Nothing waiting out in the car or anything?
Well, we were going to bring our turkey along, but we know what a well-stocked larder you folks must have, so we donated it to the mission.
The mission?
One of my favorite charities. There's no joy like sharing. May we come in now and start sharing yours?
Of course, Mr. Conklin. If you'll just sit here in the living room, I'll go back to the kitchen and tell Mrs. Davis you're here.
Oh, Harriet and I will go back and help out, Miss Brooks. You've done enough for one day. Why, I'll bet you worked like a beaver this morning.
Gnawed through 6 fingernails. Oh, I didn't do too much, no.
Come on, Mother. I'll fix the salad dressing that new way you showed me.
All right, dear. And I'll tell Mrs. Davis about the new things we've been doing with parsley.
Never mind the side dishes. Let's just get that turkey to the table pronto.
You chat with Miss Brooks, dear. We'll just be a little while.
We'll make it snappy. I could eat my weight in wildcats, Miss Brooks.
If they come in cans, you may get the chance. I mean, we'll be sitting down as soon as the others arrive, Mr. Conklin.
Oh, yes, I forgot. You're having some of your friends in. I hope that lame-brained dunce, Walter Denton, isn't expected.
Want some popcorn, Mr. Conklin? Or potato chips?
No, thanks. Who's coming to this dinner, Miss Brooks?
Well, Mr. Boynton, for one.
Oh, nice chap, Boynton. Far less irritating than many of his contemporaries.
What's the trouble, Mr. Conklin?
I'm not a well man. I've had some very strange symptoms lately.
What kind of symptoms?
Well, every so often I get sudden, blinding flashes of appetite.
Oh, well, that's because you're under such a strain, Mr. Conklin. You see, under great emotional tension, many people experience sudden and uncontrollable appetite. It's psychosomatic to some extent.
Really? Now, perhaps you'd like me to stretch out on the couch and tell me how, at the age of 3, I was convinced that my younger brother was a Cocker Spaniel.
Yours, too? I was only trying to stall. Help, Mr. Conklin. I had an aunt who suffered just like you do. I remember one time my uncle caught his nose in the piano bench. Auntie ran right down to the corner and bought herself a pickle.
A pickle?
It satisfied her nervous craving. When she stayed with us, we always had to keep a big supply of food on hand. Big juicy steaks, chops, chicken, ducks, cold cuts, potato salad.
Please, Miss Brooks. I want my dinner.
But, Mr. Conklin, the others aren't... It's open. Come on in.
Hello, Miss Brooks. Mr. Conklin, say, this is a surprise.
Hello, Boynton. Can we sit down now, Miss Brooks?
Not quite yet. Pull up a chair, Mr. Boynton.
Thanks. Well, how does the turkey look? Did you get a nice-sized bird?
Well, to be honest, Mr. Boynton, our turkey may not be such a big bird, but I'm sure the party is going to be a very big turkey. Oh, I almost forgot. There are some salted peanuts in this dish, Mr. Conklin.
One would almost think you were trying to destroy my appetite. But nothing can do that, Miss Brooks. Absolutely nothing.
Well, the door was open, so I just breezed on in. Hi, Miss Brooks.
Here comes nothing now.
Huh? Oh, hi, Mr. Boynton and Mr. Conklin.
Hello, gentlemen.
Miss Brooks, I've got some bad news for you.
You'll have to get in line, Walter. What is it?
Well, Stretcher's aunt and uncle insisted that he have dinner with them today, so he can't possibly be here in time to eat with us. Isn't that awful?
I'm absolutely devastated.
Me too. Gosh, Miss Brooks, what'll we do with all the extra food that's left over?
We'll eat it.
At last! Come on! May I escort you to the dining room, Miss Brooks?
It won't be necessary, Mr. Boynton. I'll just follow Leo the lion.
I've cut the squab into small pieces and sprayed it with sweet air, Connie. Nobody will know it isn't turkey. Now then, keep the lid on this big tray except when you're serving, and they won't know how little we've got.
All right, Mrs. Davis. I might as well trot it in. Well, here we are. What'll you have, Mrs. Conklin?
Oh, serve Mr. Conklin first, will you, dear? He's quite hungry.
Certainly. Mr. Conklin, what'll it be?
I'll have a drumstick.
A drumstick. Yes, sir. Here you are.
Where I are.
The drumstick. This is it. You know what they say, the nearer the bone, the sweeter the meat.
If this has any meat on it, it must be inside the bone.
Well, this is a brand new breed of turkey, Mr. Conklin. They've been experimenting for years with this type on the theory that the shorter the legs, the larger the breast.
Oh, then give me some of that.
Yes, sir. Here it is.
This is it?
This it is. You see, when they were experimenting with the short legs, the breast didn't quite get the idea of what they were trying to do.
Well, where are the wings?
This bird didn't get his wings. He flunked out in basic training.
I thought we'd never get out of that place. Fine dinner that was.
Take it easy, Osgood. We'll stop off on our way home and get a bite somewhere.
I thought the salmon was quite tasty. But, Mother, why do you suppose Miss Brooks took Mr. Boynton aside and then excused herself in the middle of the meal and left?
Why, it was obvious, dear. Miss Brooks wanted us to have enough to eat.
And to think we sent a beautiful 16-pound turkey to the mission.
Everything happens for the best, dear. See, that's the mission right ahead of us. What a big line of people waiting to be fed. Doesn't it do your heart good to know that we
Mother,
can...
look! That man with the 2 plates full of turkey.
Yeah, full of my turkey. Why, it's Mr. Boynton.
So it is. And who's that right behind him with the blue cap and hitting the big bass drum?
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Open up the door, Lord, Lord,
returns in just a moment, but first, dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight? Yes, tonight. Show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Luster Cream, world's finest shampoo. No other shampoo in the world gives Kay Duma's magic blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Not a soap, not a liquid. Luster Cream Shampoo leaves hair 3 ways lovelier. Fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Even in hardest water, Luster Cream lathers instantly. No special rinse needed after a Luster Cream Shampoo. So gentle, Luster Cream is wonderful even for children's hair. Tonight, yes, tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl, you owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, after Mr. Boynton and I had helped to feed over 50 underprivileged citizens, including Mr. Boynton and me, we found out that we had enough money between us to take in a movie. But on our way to the Strand, Mr. Boynton suddenly stopped.
Miss Brooks, helping out at the mission made me realize how lonely the most festive occasion can be if you're not sharing it with someone.
You're so right, Mr. Boynton. I guess you and I are pretty fortunate.
Oh, we certainly are. But I just remembered that there's another member of medicine's faculty who's all alone tonight and needs cheering up pretty badly. Let's do something about it, shall we, Miss Brooks?
Oh, that's a wonderful idea, Mr. Boynton. I'm all for it. I suppose you're referring to our French colleague, Monsieur Leblanche.
Oh, no, Miss Brooks. I was thinking of Miss Enright. Let's go pick her up right now.
Who needs teachers on a holiday?
Next week, we're into another Our Miss Brooks show brought to you by Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair and Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch. Mr. Boynton is played by Jeff Chandler, Mr. Conklin by Gail Gordon.
Here's good shaving news. 3 men out of every 4 can get more comfortable, actually smoother shaves with Palmolive Brushless Shaving Cream. This is not just a claim. Here's the proof. 1,297 men tried the Palmolive Brushless way to shave described on the tube. And no matter how they shaved before, 3 men out of every 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Try Palmolive Brushless yourself. See if you don't get more comfortable, actually smoother shaves the proved Palmolive Brushless way.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North. Tune in Tuesday evening over most of these same stations. And be with us again next week at the same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
From Hollywood, the Raleigh Cigarette Program, starring Red Skelton, with Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra, Harriet Hilliard, and Wonderful Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it said, and it's been proved, it pays to advertise. But in Raleigh cigarette advertising, you are the one who is paid. Paid with handsome bridge tables, silverware, electric clocks, and over 70 other luxurious premiums. You see, the magnificent premiums you get with Raleigh cigarette coupons are actually a form of Raleigh cigarette advertising. These luxury items are bought and paid for out of our profits, just like any other advertising. It is our belief that this type of cigarette advertising, exclusive with the makers of Raleigh's, is the best way to dramatize. That is, to give you tangible proof that Raleigh's give you more for your money. First of all, a finer cigarette, made with a choicer, more expensive golden tobaccos, the very finest that modern equipment and scientific manufacture can produce. And secondly, a plus value in the form of magnificent premiums that pleasantly remind you over and over again that it pays in many ways to smoke Raleigh's. The pack with a coupon on the back. Raleigh Cigarettes. Brothers Orchestra playing I Know That You Know. And now we bring you Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's newest young comedian, the star of our show, Red Skelton.
Army and Navy out there. Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you tonight, Truman? What you been doing? Huh?
Hello, Red. Well, sir, I've just had my first glimpse of the new spring fashions around town.
Yeah, say, aren't those hats wearing the silliest women this year? Huh? Say, have you seen the new hats for the California women?
For California women?
Yeah.
No, I haven't, Red.
Well, they're made up special. They have 2 avocados, some lemon peels, some grapefruit rind, a snow shovel, and it's set off by fog lights with a smudge pot at each end. Boy, no matter what happens, they're ready. Say, I saw another lady wearing a picture hat.
A picture hat?
Yeah, it looked like the last reel of They Died with her boots on.
I had an uncle died with his boots on once.
Once?
Yeah, that was enough.
What happened, Ozzy? Was he a horse thief?
Yeah, he was hung.
No, he was hanged.
Come to think of it, he was stabbed.
Hello, Red.
Hello, Harriet. Say, have you bought any new hats yet?
Oh, no, I just take an old one and kick it around the house until I like it.
Yeah.
Say, I think some of the new spring styles are terrific.
Yeah.
Those new earrings, for example.
New earrings? What do they do? Here for you?
No, Red. They're little glass bowls full of water with real fish in them.
Real fish in them? Oh, boy, there's progress for you. Nowadays, when a girl shakes her head no, not only does she mean no, but she hits you in the face with a salmon at the same time.
But, you know, with no material to work with, how are they going to make dresses?
I know. First, they'll take a piece of thread.
Yeah?
That's all. They'll put a price tag on it and sell it. You know, I was reading in the paper only last night that women's clothes only weigh 2.5 pounds.
Sure, but that's in the winter.
Yeah.
You know, Red, I feel sorry for the stout women. Somebody ought to design them a few special clothes.
Well, they have, Harriet. Only yesterday I saw a fat woman wearing the latest Schiaparelli wobble.
I used to wobble once.
You, Ozzy, you're not fat.
Oh, no, it wasn't that, Red. You see, I bought a cheap suit and I got caught in the rain.
You got caught in the rain, Ozzy? What happened?
Well, I arrived home in a pair of tweed shorts and an Eton jacket.
Say, Red, I understand that due to the shortage of materials, men's pants won't have any belt straps or buttons for suspenders or anything.
They won't?
No, tell me, how are they going to hold them up?
Did you ever hear of the clutching hand? You know, I'm still trying to get some garters.
Well, what's holding up your socks?
Well, I'm using a piece of piano string to hold my socks up. Now, every time I scratch my leg, it plays Rose O'Day.
In our story tonight, a boy meets a girl, and they both put on the dog and strive desperately to impress each other, and the following phony conversation is the result. I adore Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. How about you?
Well, my favorite is Chopin's Third Obbligato.
Oh, yes, and awfully good, too.
I'm mad about those famous old sculptors with their masterpieces of clay.
Yes, but don't belittle the present, my dear. We have some wonderful chiselers today.
I'll say.
I love the cinema. How about you?
Well, the cinema's very nice for a change, but I do like a good movie, too.
And when I feel a bit weary, nothing makes me so cheery as 2 or 3 saucers of tea.
You like that?
Oh, I certainly do. How about you? Later, they get better acquainted, and she finds out that he went to Hoboken High, and he finds out that she went to PS 146, and then they really tell the truth with this result.
I go for ham and eggs, How about you?
Well, my favorite is much more romantic. I like mulligan stew.
I like to jitterbug till my feet are numb.
Well, I like Amos and Andy and penny store candy and Abner and Lum.
I love the bright lights of a Hollywood premiere. How about you?
Yes, the opening of that meat market in Glendale last year. That was the best one I went to.
And when I go to a movie show and all the lights are low, I take off my shoes. I know it's not nice.
Well, I like it. How about you?
That was Harriet Hilliard and Ozzie Nelson singing How About You, and very good, too. Say, Harriet, you know, you deserve a raise, and I'm going to give it to you.
Well, it's about time, Red. I don't want to complain, but $13 a week.
Oh, superstitious, huh?
I'm not superstitious. It's surprising, though, the number of people who believe in those things.
Yeah?
Ozzie always carries a lucky horseshoe.
I knew him when he wore them.
Say, Red, how about showing the different types of superstitious people, huh?
Say, that's a pretty good idea. First, let's show the superstitious fellow who walks up the boardwalk and meets one of those fakers who reads crystal balls, palms, and bumps. Step right up, folks. Let me tell you past, present, and future. The Swami sees all, tells all, also girdles, vulcanized for cheap. Hey, you.
Do you all wish to converse with me, sir?
Yeah, you want to buy a lucky charm? Something to carry around in your pocket. Maybe a rabbit's foot, huh?
Nope. Got a whole rabbit round my neck now.
A whole rabbit? That won't bring you any luck.
Maybe not, but it's nice and warm.
Well, step inside my tent. Let me tell your fortune, huh?
Okay.
Now, right... This is the only tent on the boardwalk with a door. Now that you're inside, welcome to Madame Gin Rummy's Crystal Gazing Palace.
Is Madame Gin Rummy here?
Yes, she is, just as soon as I put my wig on.
I don't think I want my fortune told.
Sure you do. I bet you don't even know what your own future is, do you?
No, sir. Not since Santa Anita closed. You know, mister, I can tell fortunes, too.
Well, fan my brow. You can.
Yes, sir. If you'll just sit down, I'll read the bumps on your head.
How'd you know I had a bump on my head?
You're a pedestrian, ain't you?
Now, do you want your fortune told, or shall I just take your dough without telling you a thing?
Go ahead. That's all it is.
Yeah, you ain't kidding me, either. Now, would you like to have your palm read?
Yes, sir. Wait till I take off my glove.
I notice you're only wearing one glove. Did you lose the other one?
No, I found this one.
You know, I also read tea bags.
You mean tea leaves?
No, tea bags. I do it the hard way. Now, take this bag and squeeze it out and make a wish.
Okay, I'll squeeze it.
Well, did you make a wish?
Never mind the wish. Just hand me a towel.
Now, look, Bub, you got to concentrate. Now, over here is our wishing well. The echo comes back whenever you yell in there. Now, I'll show you what I mean.
Okay.
Hello! Hello! How are you? Hello! I said, how are you? Hello! Well, don't you answer what I said. I ain't getting that kind of money. Now, if you care to, Bud, take a look in the crystal ball, and what do you see?
Wait a minute. I see my gal getting dressed by an open window.
Look, I said look into it, not focus it. Now, I'll see if the spirits are with me. Answer me, spirits. Are you with me? Thank you, John Paul Jones. Now, I'll rap on the table here. I'll rap on the magic table to see if the spirits are here. Now, try it again. Well, I guess I'll have to use the crystal ball after all. Looking in here, I see Central Avenue. I see a girl walking down the street.
Has she got a red dress on?
Yeah, do you know her?
No, but can you fix it?
I'm sorry, she only goes out with spirit wolves.
Well, tell her I look like a coyote.
You don't have to. Everybody knows that. Now, quiet. I'm getting a message here. Now, let's see. The message says, if you want to meet your true love, go down to the graveyard tonight at midnight. And in the full moon, when the owl hoots 13 times, she'll meet you on a tombstone, third shroud to the left.
Well, so long.
You going to the graveyard?
I'll wait till she moves to a better neighborhood.
Then we have a fella who is on his way to see his girl, Clem, the fella from the country. And as it opens up, he is on his way to see his girl as usual. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling Clementine. I wish he was my darling. Well, look who's in town. There's Chrissy. Hello, Chrissy. Hello. Windy old bird, ain't he? Well, I better be getting over to Daisy June's house. I wonder how I look today. Now, let me see. Where's my compact? Oh, here it is. I better comb my hair. I look like something that's seen its shadow. Well, I'll just run the comb through it lightly. Sure is tough going through that first inch of stickum. Uh-oh, there's a kitty cat. I better get out of here. He might have a white strip down his back. Well, what's worse than I thought? It's a black cat, and that's bad luck. Oh, I hope he don't see me. I better hurry up across the street so he won't cross my path. Better hurry, too. Fine place to leave a garbage pail. Empty, too. Now, stop laughing, kitty cat. You stop licking my face, too, and don't walk in front of me. Or you're liable to wind up as a G-string on my banjo. Oh, I gotta get away from this black cat somehow. I think I'll climb over this fence here. Right leg up, left leg up. Now both legs down quick. Oh, doggone you, cat. Look what you made me do. I ripped my pants, and they were my good pants, too. Good for a couple more days, anyway. Oh, shut up.
Hey, what you doing out there? Hello, Clem.
Well, Clem,
what are you up to?
up to my neck, I'm standing in a mud puddle.
Well, wipe off your chin and come on in the house.
Say, tell your Uncle Denny to get his shotgun and get this cat away from me.
Oh, well, Uncle can't come out. He's disappeared.
Disappeared? Where did he go?
Well, I don't know, but you know them ships you build and put inside a glass bottle?
Yeah?
Well, ours has got a passenger. Oh, gee, Clem, that's a pretty bow tie you're wearing.
Sure.
Where'd you get it?
Well, it's the tie I saw in the catalog.
Oh, don't tell me you sent away for it.
No, I cut it out and pasted it on my shirt. Oh, here comes that darn black cat again. I wish I could get rid of him. You got a saucer of milk?
Sure, Clem, I'll get you one.
Okay.
Here you are.
Oh, thanks. Gosh, I was thirsty. Well, I know what I'll do with this black cat. I'll catch him and put him in this bag here and throw him in the river. It's bad, but I'll do it. Well, come here, kitty. No, kitty. No,
Sam, you be careful.
Well, don't worry your little head about me. I'll handle this cat all right. Come here. We'll put you inside this bag. Get in there. Oh, Daisy June.
Yes, Sam? Where are you?
Get a knife and cut me out of here, will you?
Nelson and his orchestra playing Sonny Dispossessed. Say, Truman, you've been telling us all that Raleighs are made from the more golden tobaccos, haven't you?
That's right, Red. Raleigh cigarettes are undeniably made from the choicer, more expensive golden tobaccos. And I'm going to prove that to you right now.
Well, how's that?
Well, Red, I'm going to get someone else's opinion. I've asked a gentleman from the audience to come up here. Will you, sir, help us with this little test?
If I can.
You can, all right. Now, here are 5 opened packages of cigarettes, all leading brands. The names are carefully covered, of course. Now, look at the ends of each and tell us which has more golden tobaccos, will you please?
These cigarettes.
Now, will you please remove the paper cover that hides the name and tell us what brand you pick?
Raleigh's.
Friends, there's proof beyond dispute that the tobacco in Raleigh's is unmistakably more golden in color. Experts will tell you that these golden tobaccos are choicer, more expensive. And remember, 31 of these selected tobaccos go into Raleigh's exclusive blend. That's why Raleigh's are so distinctively outstanding in taste and flavor, so smooth and mild. And in addition, Raleigh's give you valuable coupons redeemable for over 70 luxury premiums. Ladies and gentlemen, the proof is right before your very eyes that it pays in many ways to get the pack with a coupon on the back. Raleigh Cigarettes.
Say, to get back to the superstitions, we have a lady and her little boy. It's Friday the 13th, and she is very superstitious. So, Harriet, you be my mother, and I'll be the mean little kid on the block. Mommy! Mommy! Mommy door! Gee, you suppose the man from the piano store took Mummy, too?
Did you call me, Junior?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Here I am, Mummy, up on the fireplace.
Come down from there, Junior.
Okay, just soon as I straighten this picture first.
What's the matter with the picture?
It's crooked. Napoleon's hand keeps sliding out of his vest. Hey, Mummy, you know what I did today? I learned how to whistle.
You really learned how to whistle?
Yeah, listen. Well, there goes the last of me baby teeth.
Junior, what happened while I was gone?
Well, you come over here, I will show you the picture I drew with me little paint pot.
You bring the picture over here.
Okay, help me carry the wall.
Oh, Junior, how many times have I told you not to paint pictures on the wall? How many times? Well, answer me.
I counting.
Oh, dear, just look at that wall. Why did you paint a picture on the wallpaper with paint?
Well, this knife was too dull.
Oh, Junior, you should be ashamed marking up my wall.
Yes, I should.
What happened to that phone number? What happened to that phone number I wrote down?
You mean the one the Iceman gave you this morning?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
Mommy, can I marry Shirley Temple?
Don't be silly. Shirley Temple's older than you are.
Yes?
Yes.
When did that happen? And Mommy.
What you want, Junior?
What you doing, What you doing, What you doing,
I'm cleaning house. Cleaning house, and it's some job.
Yeah.
Junior, I have to wash the windows, so please stay away from the ladder, huh?
Okay.
If you run under it, it's bad luck.
Okay, I will run under it just once, huh? Now, who tied my shoelaces together?
Listen, you keep on, and you'll get a spanking so hard you'll think you're riding an electric fan side saddle.
Hey, Mommy, can I take my tricycle out and go play in the street?
No, you can't ride your tricycle in the street. Somebody might run over you and get hurt. Now, look, why don't you run along and play someplace else, huh?
Okay, it's Saturday afternoon. Can I go down to the theater and see the cowboy picture?
No, Junior, it's Friday the 13th.
It is?
You be careful. You'll have bad luck all day.
I didn't know you were superstitious, Mommy.
Why, Junior, didn't you know that if you step on a bug, it'll rain?
I stepped on a bug yesterday.
Did you get permission from the California Chamber of Commerce?
No, I didn't have to. It was a Japanese beetle.
Oh, the things you say and do.
Yeah, I'm a regular cut-weight Mickey Rooney, ain't I? I'm going out in the street and play.
I told you, you can't go out into the street.
Now, you let me go out and play or I would tell.
You'll tell what?
I would tell everybody that you got 4 pounds of sugar stashed away.
Junior, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would, too. I seen it. I know right where you got a head, too, boy. I know. I seen it. I know. Right next to them automobile stamps you swiped last night.
Junior!
Don't you hit me.
I've got a good mind to spank your funny bone again.
Mommy.
Yes?
Got something I gotta tell you. I mean, somebody gotta tell you.
Well, what is it?
My funny bone ain't where you think it is.
Well, maybe not, but it gets results.
Yeah.
And another thing, did you eat your spinach?
Yes, I eat my spinach.
Did you eat your peas and your carrots and your turnips and your radishes?
Listen, Mom, I've eaten so many vegetables that me little stomach looked like Carmen Miranda's hat.
Oh, that reminds me. I'll show you my new hat, Junior.
Oh, you will?
There, how do you like it? I said, how do you like it?
I would tell you, but it would only lead to bloodshed.
Just for that, you go up to your room and take a nap.
Oh, all right, okay. Dictator! Well, here I is. I sure been a meanie today. Boy, I sure am proud of myself today. Here I is, all alone in me little room. And it's a beautiful day, too. Just look at the sun shining through the bars. I wonder what I could do to keep me in trouble but out of jail. Let's see. What can I do to pass the time away? I think I will climb out the window and slide down the drain pipe. If I do, I get a whipping. I do that. I will slide down the drain pipe and make a getaway on me tricycle. Oh, boy. Oh, look what's laying out here on the roof, a horseshoe. Somebody must have thrown it up here. I will fit on it and throw it over my shoulder. It will bring me luck. Ooh, I hit myself on the head. I forgot to let go. Gee, I got a lump on me with a head. I can't tell which is the lump and which is me with a head. Come here, horseshoe. I'll have to do it again. Now, I mustn't look where it falls, or my wish won't come true. Oh, here goes again. Oh, boy, I don't have to look where that baby went. Well, I better get the pepper quick.
Junior, what happened? Who threw that horseshoe through the window? Oh, look at the big lump on your head. It hit you, didn't it? Oh, my poor darling, I'll call the doctor.
You see, folks, if you just keep your mouth shut, everything worked out in your favor.
Ozzy and the orchestra recall pleasant memories with their playing of a hit tune of other years' great day. But for truly great days ahead, we ask you to listen to this interesting message.
Pipe smokers, try Sir Walter Raleigh. Sir Walter Raleigh has a nut-like mellowness, a smooth, tangy richness that no other tobacco offers. It's full-bodied, mild, burns even and cool, never bites your tongue. With all of this, Sir Walter Raleigh has a more pleasing, fragrant aroma. It's the quality pipe tobacco of America, available at the price of just ordinary tobacco. Try Sir Walter Raleigh tonight.
We'll all be back again Tuesday at the same time. Red Skelton, Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra, Harriet Hilliard, Wonderful Smith, and yours truly, Truman Bradley. Until next Tuesday, then.
Red Skelton saying goodbye now. Thanks for listening.
Red Skelton is heard on this program through the courtesy of the Metro Golden Mayer Studio. The program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
It's new. It's amazing. It's Prell. P-R-E-L-L. Prell shampoo. Yes, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Prell brings you The Life of Riley. Prell, the shampoo that removes unsightly dandruff, leaves hair radiantly lovely, presents The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. Today we are privileged to observe a new phase in the life of Chester A. Riley. We see him as a political candidate. It seems he's running for the office of president of the freshman class at UCLA. Of course, it's really his daughter, Babs, who is the candidate, but to hear Riley talk, you'd never know it.
Now, the way I figure this campaign, Peg, the first thing to do is size up my opponent, this Helene Bidwell.
Oh, Riley, Helene Bidwell's not your opponent. This isn't your campaign, and you're not running. Babs is running, so please stay out of it.
Stay out of it? You're forgetting she's my daughter.
Well, she's my daughter, too.
Well, okay, so I own 50% of her, and I'm getting my 50% elected.
But what do you know about politics?
What do I know about... Didn't I work with B.L. Feeney in the last city election when he ran Anderson for mayor? Wasn't I his right-hand man?
It was a fine candidate you worked for, that Anderson. A crook.
He was a great candidate.
Well, then why didn't people vote for Anderson?
Because we had no money in our campaign fund. Anderson skipped town with it. But I learned plenty from Feeney, the big boss, and I got a campaign worked out for Babs.
Now, she doesn't need your help, so please don't interfere. Now, Babs is smart, and she's very popular, and she'll win the election if you'll just leave her alone.
Yeah, well, maybe you're right. Babs has a good head on her shoulders. After all, she got her brains from me.
Oh, I I thought she got her looks from you.
Well, yeah, them too. Oh, she's a lucky girl.
Was that you, Babsy? Hello, Daddy. Hello, Mother.
Oh, what's the matter, dear? You seem so upset.
Oh, Mother, I've as good as lost the election.
What do you mean you've lost the election?
Oh, that Helene Bidwell. She got her father to help her.
Oh, well, don't you worry, Babs. Your father will help you.
But, Dad...
Anything old man Bidwell can do, I can do better. Just name it.
He gave Helene $100 for campaign expenses.
Name something else.
$100?
Well, he's the president of the Merchants Bank. He can afford it. And Helene is throwing parties and handing out cigarette cases to the boys and compacts to the girls.
But that ain't fair. That Bidwell, I'll get even with him. I'm drawing out every cent I have in his bank.
You don't have any money in that bank.
Well, I'll put some money in and then I'll draw it out.
Babsy, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll lose the election.
Oh, I haven't got a chance now. The election's tomorrow, and... Oh, what's the use?
Well, don't you give up, Babs. I'll help you.
How can you help me, Daddy? You haven't any money. Excuse me.
Oh, Peg, I see it all now.
See what?
I'm a failure. Here I am, 39 years old. I worked hard all my life, and the one time my kid really needs my help, I can't do nothing for her.
Oh, don't blame yourself.
Well, it just goes to show you ain't got a chance unless you're rich. Oh, why wasn't I born rich?
Well, there are other ways of getting rich besides being born rich.
You're right. Oh, why didn't I marry a rich woman? Peg, I gotta help Babs.
Well, there's nothing you can do.
There must be something. This is a tough spot. I wonder what Mr. Feeney would do in a... Feeney? Why didn't I think of him before? He'll come up with an angle.
Now, don't be silly. This is only a college election, and he's a professional politician. Why should he help Babs?
He'll help her. I know him from way back in the old days in Brooklyn. And one thing about Feeney, he always does favors for anyone who voted for his candidates. And Babs voted for one of them when she was only 6 years old.
Help you, Riley? You bet your sweet life I will. Many's the time you've helped me swing an election back in the old days in Brooklyn.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
Yeah. Hey, remember the time I ran for alderman in the 4th Ward and the opposition threw that big picnic near the zoo? And I gave you orders to break it up?
And I dressed in a rented gorilla costume and ran through the picnic grounds roaring.
And nobody made a move. They just stood there laughing.
Then I got sore and took off the costume.
And then everybody ran.
Yeah, those were the days.
Well, let's get down to business, Riley.
Yeah, I hope you can help me, Mr. Feeney. My little girl has got to win this election.
Don't you worry, Riley. We'll put it over. Tell me, what's her campaign slogan?
Slogan? Well, I don't think she's got one.
Oh, that's bad. Can't get the votes without a slogan. Something that'll rally the voters. Now, let's see. We want something up to the minute, huh?
Yeah.
Got it. Vote for Babs Riley and get a new Brooklyn Bridge.
No, I don't think that's quite right. You see, we ain't in Brooklyn. We're in California. Besides, it's a college election.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But don't you worry, Riley. We'll get it. We'll get the right slogan if it takes us all week.
Yeah, but there's no time. Today's the registration of the voters, and tomorrow's the election.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, what are we fooling around with a slogan for? We have to do something drastic. Get out that vote. And I think I got a little idea.
Yeah, what, Mr. Feeney?
You leave everything to me. I'll get some of my political analysts on the job. Send them down to the campus today. Have them size up the situation. Talk to the voters. Don't you worry. Your kid's as good as elected.
Oh, Mr. Feeney, I don't know what to say.
Forget it, Riley. Always glad to oblige.
No, I'll never forget you for this. I don't care how many people say you're a crook. You're okay with me. I mean,
Same old Riley.
Yeah, well, so long, Mr. Feeney.
So long. Hey, Mike.
You want me, boss?
Yeah, I got a little job for you. There's an election tomorrow for the president of the freshman class at UCLA.
Hey, that's a college. I don't like college work ever since I got nabbed at Vassar putting a fix on the girls' hockey team.
Yeah, well, it's a little out of our line, but an election's an election, you know. They're registering the voters today, so here's what I want you to do. Get some of the boys together and get down there to that campus.
All right.
right, next, please.
Is this where you get your ballot for the freshman election?
That's right. What's your name and course?
Susan Rackmill, Science.
Here's your ballot.
George McIntosh, Arts.
Here you are.
Louise Thompson, Music.
Here you are. All right, next.
Herbert Van Dyke III, Architecture.
Here you are.
Mervyn Leroy, Science.
Here's your ballot.
Pardon me.
You'll have to get in line.
Oh, I don't want a ballot. Is Babs Raliegh around here?
Yes, I think I saw. Oh, there she is, over there.
Huh? Oh, yeah, thanks. Oh, Babs! Babs!
All right, next, please. Hurry along now.
Here I am.
Daddy, what are you doing here?
I just came to tell you that everything's going to be okay. My friend Mr. Feeney put some of his political analysts on the job. It's in the bag.
Well, what's he doing?
Well, I don't know, but he's got an angle. Don't you worry. You just leave it to Feeney.
Well, listen, Daddy. There's something funny going on.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I think Helene Bidwell's pulling some kind of trick. You see that man in line there?
Where?
The one with the check sport jacket?
Oh, yeah. What about him?
Let's go up closer to the desk. You'll see.
All right, next. Hurry along, please. Next.
Cecil Murgatroyd Cantwell, journalism.
Here you are. Next.
Daddy, did you see him?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not a freshman. I've never seen him around.
No, but I have. I've seen that face somewhere before.
Daddy, look. I knew it. Look, he's getting into line again.
Yeah, well, I'll have a little talk with him. I'll be right back. Hey, you.
Oh, hi.
Ain't I seen you someplace before?
Sure, don't you remember me, Riley? I'm Mike. I work for Feeney. Hey, is that Riley kid yours?
Yeah.
I didn't get the connection. It's in the bag. This is my 6th time around. I got a pocket full of ballots. Some of the other boys are scattered around the other lines. They were pretty good, too. Nothing to worry about.
You mean that you... But you mustn't. That's all wrong.
What do you mean wrong?
Well, it's crooked.
Yeah, I know, but what's wrong?
All right, next, please. Get a move on. You're holding up the line.
Yeah, I'm next.
All right, what's your name?
Maxwell Parkhurst, Engineering.
Wait a minute. Didn't you get a ballot before?
Now, come on, hand over the ballot.
Are you sure you're in engineering?
Sure, engineering.
What kind of engineering?
Locomotive engineering. Wise guy.
That man's a fake.
Now, Babs, don't you make a scene.
I'm going to expose
Babs,
him.
please, don't. You'll be sorry.
Listen, everybody. This fella here's been in line more than once.
What are you talking about?
He's collecting other people's ballots.
Babs, don't.
And he's probably being paid by Helene Bidwell. Get out of here, you crook.
Well, that's gratitude. Here I've been standing in line all day and you call me a crook. I ain't working for that Bidwell. I'm collecting these here ballots for you. I quit this here college.
Oh, Daddy, did you... Oh, excuse me.
No, Babs, wait. Babs, wait for me. Babs, listen to me.
Don't you dare speak to me.
But Babsy...
I never want to speak to you again as long as I live. How could you think of doing such a dishonest thing?
But I didn't know. Feeney didn't tell me. I was just trying to help you. Babs, wait.
Don't leave me alone.
She don't understand. But someday she'll be married and have a kid of her own. And then she'll know what it means to be a father.
Well, we'll bring you the second act of the life of Riley in just a moment. And now, the glamour girl of 49.
I'm Tallulah, the tube of proud, and I've got a little something to tell. Your hair can be radiant, oh, so easy. All you gotta do is take me home and squeeze me. I'm Tallulah, the tube of proud, and I'll make your hair look swell. It'll shine, it'll glow, so dandruff-free. For radiant hair, get a hold of me. Tallulah, the tube of proud shampoo.
Yes, folks, Tallulah's right. Prell Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo leaves hair more radiant than any soap shampoo. And Prell removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes. Doctors' examinations proved it. For hair radiantly clean, radiantly lovely, try Prell, your very next shampoo. Before rejoining Riley, just a word about that new hilarious Life of Riley motion picture that's coming your way soon. You're in for the laugh of a lifetime when you see all your favorite characters, including Digger Odell, in the Life of Riley movie starring William Bendix, which opens today in Salt Lake City and New Haven, Connecticut. And now back to the life of Riley, where we find that Riley's life is by no means a merry one, as our hero lurks fearfully outside his back door, afraid to enter lest he incur the wrath of his wife and daughter.
Gee, it's after 8 already. I can't stand out here all night. I'm hungry. Well, I'm going in. After all, it's my house. Why shouldn't I go in? I don't care if she does yell at me. I'll yell right back at her. I'm going in. After all, what am I, a man or a mouse?
8:30. Just wait till I get a hold of that father of yours.
What's wrong with being a mouse? Gee, I'm hungry. I wish I had some cheese.
No, there's no one out here, Mom.
Well, are you sure, Junior? I'm positive that door open.
Must have been the wind.
Well, as long as you're out there, dear, burn the trash in the incinerator, will you?
Okay.
Junior?
Huh? What? Who's that?
It's me, Junior.
Pa.
Shh. I don't want your mother to hear.
Well, why didn't you come home for supper?
Well, I was busy.
You were scared.
I ain't scared of man or beast.
But you're scared of Mom.
Well, she's a woman. Man or a beast, I can handle. Is she very mad at me?
Oh, and how?
Oh. Where's Babs?
In her room. She was crying.
Oh.
Aren't you going to come in?
Not yet. Listen, Junior, I'm starved. Get me something to eat, a sandwich or something. Huh? Sneak it out without your mother seeing.
Oh, I can't, Pa.
Oh, God, I can't face her on an empty stomach.
Well, okay, I'll try.
Junior, who's out there with you?
Say it's our cat.
Who's out there, Junior?
It's our cat.
Meow.
What cat? We have no cat.
You have meow.
I thought it was you. So you finally showed up.
Now, listen,
it's a wonder you're not ashamed to show your face.
But it wasn't my fault.
Do you realize you've just about broken that poor child's heart? She's been in her room all day crying her eyes out.
But I didn't know.
I told you not to interfere. But no, you knew better. You had to go and see that crook Feeney, and you lost the election for her. Why, nobody will vote for her tomorrow. I hope you're satisfied.
I wanted to help her. I thought if she had a campaign manager...
Oh, come in the house.
You forgive me?
No. I just don't want the neighbors to find out that my husband's a nincompoop.
Now, just a minute. You're going too far. Now you're getting personal. Just because I don't earn much income, you got no right to call me an income poop. And I don't like the way...
Don't you raise your voice to me.
I will if I want to. It's my voice. And if you don't like it, you don't have to stand here talking to me. You can leave. Yeah.
Well, don't worry. I will leave.
Walked out on me, huh? Now, wait till she walks around the streets for a couple of hours and she's dying on her feet. She won't be so hoity-toity. And it's plenty cold outside tonight.
But, Pa, you're outside. Mom's in the house.
What a revolting development this is. Oh, I'm tired. I must have walked around for hours. Maybe I ought to go home. No, I won't give her the satisfaction. But what am I going to do? I can't go to a hotel. Got no money. Hey, there's Digger Odell's place. He'll help me. There's no light. I hope he's in. Well, I better ring the bell. Maybe I better go home after all.
Who's there?
It's me, Riley. Is that you, Digger?
Yes, it is I indeed. Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker. What brings you here at this hour of the night?
Digger, can I sleep here tonight?
Sleep here? But I've no place.
Oh, please, Digger, I'm dead.
In that case, come in. I'll dig up a place for you.
Well, thanks, Digger. You see, I can't go home. I had a fight with Peg on account of Babs. I'm afraid she's going to lose her class election tomorrow. I asked Feeney to help me.
Feeney?
Yeah.
That board healer? You should have come to me for advice. I'm an expert on politics. In fact, I've just returned from Washington, where I've been lobbying for the UEPBTLM.
UEPBTLM?
Yes, the undertakers, embalmers, and pallbearers back to the land movement. We believe that every citizen is entitled to his own plot of ground. And we won't give up until we put him there.
So I'm sorry now I didn't come to you.
You should have. Everybody comes to me eventually. Because when I get behind the man and give him a push, he gets in by a landslide. Once the city was overrun by vice, and I ran on the citizens' reform ticket for mayor. I lost in spite of my wonderful slogan.
What was your slogan?
Vote for Digger. He'll put the lid on.
I'll never be able to face Babs. Oh, if there was only some way she could still win.
Well, tell me, Riley, what is her platform? What has she promised the voters?
Well, I don't know. She, Oh. Digger, you just gave me an idea. If it works, maybe Babs can win yet. Oh, Digger, I'm glad I came here. You put new life into me.
Lots of people come here, but you're the first one who's ever said that.
Well, so long, Digger.
Aren't you going to sleep here?
No, I'd better go home and think this out. Besides, I snore very loud.
Believe me, you won't disturb anyone. But if you insist, cheerio, you'd better be shoveling off.
What is it, Mother? Did your father phone when I was out this afternoon? No, he didn't. Well, I'm worried about him. I left the house early this morning without saying a word. And here it is, 7:30, and he's not home yet. I just phoned the plant, and he didn't even show up today. Where can he be?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Now, Babsy, don't talk like that. I know he did an awful thing, but after all, he is your father, and he meant well.
I'm sorry, but I can't help thinking if he hadn't interfered, I might have won the election.
Well, you shouldn't have given up this way. You should have gone to school today. There was still a chance.
Oh, I didn't have a chance in the world.
Well, all right, dear, let's forget about it. Well, you better get dressed if you're going to that freshman prom.
The prom? You don't think I dare show my face at the prom after what happened? And when my date shows up, you can tell him.
Hey, where's Babs?
Riley, where have you been all day? I've been worried sick.
Where's Babs? Oh, there you are. Babs, why didn't you go to school today?
Riley, where were you?
Where do you think I was? At school, on the campus, campaigning for my little girl.
Oh, Daddy, not again.
Jester, Riley, haven't you done enough damage?
Wait a minute, you're hanging an innocent man. Take a look at this paper, the college paper. Here.
Oh, let me see. Babs Riley elected.
Yep.
Oh, and by landslide. I won! Mother, Daddy, I won! I can't believe it, I won!
My Babsy, that's wonderful. Oh, I told you not to give up.
Hey, what's all the
Oh,
excitement?
Junior, I won! I was elected! I won!
Yeah, and don't forget, I put it over for you.
Well, Daddy, what happened? How'd you do it?
Brains?
Yes, but how did you do it?
Last minute tragedy?
Oh, Daddy, please tell me.
Oh, no. That's my little secret. After all, did Truman tell Margaret?
Daddy, please, I've got to know.
Well, it was a cinch. You should have seen me in action. I went up to this boy, see, and I grab his lapels and I say, who are you going to vote for? Helene, he says. Got a date for the prom, I says. No, he says. Would you like one with a gorgeous girl? Yeah, he says. I can fix it, I says. Who's the girl, he says. Babs, I says. Now who are you going to vote for? Babs, he says.
Riley, I don't understand. You promised one boy a date with Babs, and that's won the election.
Who says one boy? Every boy!
What? Daddy, are you out of your mind? How on earth...
Wait a minute. Don't get excited. It's only an election promise. Who ever heard of a politician living up to his promises?
suppose they come here and...
Don't worry, they won't. Didn't give them the address. I told each one that you'll phone them. And you won't phone them. Now, you go to the prom with George and have a good time. And remember, you owe it all to your daddy.
Oh, it's 8 o'clock. I better get dressed.
Yeah.
Mother, will you give me a hand?
Well, all right, dear, but I don't like this whole thing.
Oh. Ain't that just like a woman, Junior? They never appreciate what you do for them.
Yeah, but, Pop, some of those guys, when they find out you tricked them, they might make some trouble.
What trouble? The voters are too dumb to make trouble. They're dopes. You take it from me, Junior. The door. Yeah?
Hello, Mr. Riley. I waited for Babs' call, but she didn't phone, so I thought I'd better come over.
But you can't,
Who's at the door, Riley?
Nobody, quick. Wait in this room here.
But, Mr. Riley...
Oh, what'll I do? Who's that?
Sounds like another dope.
Hello, Mr. Riley. I waited for Babs.
Never mind. Quick. In this room.
What are you going to do, Pop?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to tell her. Babs will have to go to the prom with 3 boys.
4 boys.
How do you do, Mr. Riley?
Evening, Mr. Riley.
5 boys. They're coming like locusts. Another one.
Good evening, Mr. Riley.
I know. She didn't phone. Junior, put them in the dining room.
There's no room. It's full.
Oh, how about the kitchen?
Well, that's full, too.
Oh, wait, let me see that chart again. Dining room, bedroom, kitchen. Oh, we're all booked up. Junior, start filling up the garage.
Who's been ringing our doorbell? It sounds like an army's visiting us.
Good evening.
Oh, well, who's this young man?
Meet one of the privates.
What? That's a police car in our street. What's going on out there?
Now, Peg, don't go out.
Mommy, what are all those cars? Why, jalopies. And what are all those boys lining up in front of our house? Beth! There's 6 strange boys in the bathroom. Right. What's the meaning of this?
Well, you see, Peg, the voters, I promised you see... Well,
I see, all right. I told you. What are we going to do now?
I wash my hands of the whole affair. Babs will have to go with all of them.
Oh, I will not. I'm going with George.
Babs, wait, come back here, you killed. Oh, Peg, what'll I do?
You got yourself into this. It's your problem. I told you not to interfere.
Yeah, I know. I made a mistake. I thought I could trick the voters, but you can't. It's just like Abe Lincoln said. You can fool some of the people all of the time, and you can fool all of the people some of the time, but how does it end?
But there's no fool like Riley.
The Rileys will return in just a moment. Say, lady, are you a hair fusser? Always shampooing and curling so you won't be caught with your hair down? Then get a lovely rain scarf from Prell, the Radiant Cream Shampoo, to protect that favorite hairdo when it rains. Yes, you couldn't look smarter than in one of those gay-colored scarves of soft, pliable, rain-proof material. And say, they're such a bargain that you'll want more than one. Worth up to 75 cents, you get them for just 25 cents at a Prell carton. That's right. Send your 25 cents and any size Prell carton with your name and address to Prell, Cincinnati, Ohio. Be sure to state your color choice, rose, blue, green, or yellow. Send to Prell, Cincinnati, Ohio for your rain scarf today. This offer good in the United States only.
Well, I can't get over it. Of all the crazy things to do. Promise
All
those
right,
boys...
all right. That's enough. You don't have to keep telling me. Anyway, I straightened everything out with the boys, didn't I? Now, if we're going in the movies, let's go. No more arguments.
All right, get the ticket.
Okay.
How many, please?
2 lodges and 56 in the balcony. Come on, boys.
Join us again next week to hear The Life of Riley over this NBC station. The Life of Riley, motion picture, starring William Bendix, is now showing in Buffalo, Pittsburgh, New Haven, Salt Lake City, and 200 other cities that like to laugh. Tonight's script is by Alan Lipscott, Reuben Schiff, and Dick Powell. Mrs. Riley is Paula Winslow. Digger Odell is John Brown. The Life of Riley is produced by Irving Brecker. And remember, to get your rainproof rain scarf from Prell, just send your name and address with 25 cents and any size Prell carton to Prell, Cincinnati, Ohio. Be sure to state your color choice, rose, blue, green, or yellow. Remember, that's Prell, Cincinnati, Ohio. This offer is good in the United States only.
Hi-ho, Ivory Snow, wash your dishes with Ivory Snow. It's safe for hands and speedy too. Lovely hands mean a lovely you. Hi-ho, safe in snow, wash your dishes in Ivory Snow.
Let your hands tell you why Ivory Snow is so wonderful for dishwashing. Wash your dishes with Ivory Snow as millions do. When you see how Ivory Snow pampers your hands, you'll know it's ideal. It's Ivory Mild, Ivory Pure. And remember, it's granulated for speed. No soap made is faster for dishes or kinder to hands than Ivory Snow, the only soap both Ivory Mild and granulated for efficiency. Yes, for speedier dishwashing, for snow-white hands, try wonderful Ivory Snow.
And this is Ken Niles reminding you to tune in to this NBC station every Friday night for a full hour of comedy. First Red Skelton, and then The Life of Riley.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.